Douluo, Star Officials Challenge, everyone is stronger than Tang San. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author, we do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Period. Jinring-su, you started the attack challenge, now unleash your strongest attack and attack Lucky Zingayu Shai. Rated B. Reward the low-profile version of Guanyin Tears Heaven Dao Palace, martial arts arena on the ring. Jinring-su looked at the silver-haired man in front of her. An excited smile appeared on the little face. She was looking forward to this moment. She had been waiting for a long time. Quickly bowed deeply and said, "Yes, senior," happened to have a panoramic view, and his eyes froze. His little move was discovered by Jinring-su. She knew she was gone. It's just that Dai's eyebrows were tightened, and soon let go. However, just as Jinring-su was about to cast the angelic golden body, when launching a full attack on Lucky Zingayu, in the distance came the loud voice of the Royal Forest Army, "His Majesty is here." Immediately, 100 or 200 people gathered near the Emperor Ring. Zuyu and shouted, "Meet your Majesty." Jinring-su on the ring could only stop attacking. "Also salute, meet your Majesty." Bibi Dong held a gem scepter and looked over. He said with a smile, "Your Majesty," he said, "you are welcome." "Thank you, Your Majesty." Everyone just got up. Then he saw Emperor Zuyi walking quickly to the edge of the ring, facing the silver-haired man on the futon. The voice of Arching Hands is slightly flattering and said, "Zuyi, I met Senior." Suddenly, the audience fell silent. There was no sound. The silence was terrifying. No one would have thought of the majestic Heaven Dao Emperor Zuyi. Even when facing the star official, his posture was so low. He also lowered his identity to call himself Snow Knight. Call each other seniors. Even Bibi Dong and Jinring-su showed shocked expressions. On the futon, Lin Feng glanced at Emperor Zuyi. There was no point in getting up to greet him. Said softly, "I don't know why your Majesty came to look for me." His indifferent attitude made his jaw drop again. Meeting Emperor Xian Dao is so unscrupulous. Looking at the forces of all parties, I am afraid that only the senior Emperor Zuyi did not dare to do so. Emperor Zuyi did not because of the other party's attitude. If you feel displeased or angry, you feel that a superior person should have the posture of a superior person. Prince Zuyi must remember it in his heart, no matter what price he will pay. "Senior, please." After Emperor Zuyi finished speaking, he turned to the silver-haired man on the ring, clasped fists and bowed deeply. Such an incredible scene. It shocked everyone in the audience. There was no reaction for a while at Senior in unison, expecting him to make a decision. But Bibi Dong, Liena, and Gui Mei were already panicked. They all know the strength of the senior. It is mysterious and unpredictable. If Senior really wants to help Emperor Zuyi with this favor, rescue Zuking, then Jinring-su's identity will definitely be exposed. On the ring, Jinring-su's face remained unchanged, but breathing became uncontrollable and became rapid. When she looked up, she just found the silver-haired man on the futon. He cast a playful look, and instantly withdrew it. Jinring-su was completely panicked. She was 100% sure that the senior had already seen through her identity. "What should I do now? Could it be that you have worked so hard to undercover the Xiandao Empire for so many years? Is it really going to fall short? This is the hard work of countless people in Wuhun for more than 10 years. Now you want to destroy it in my hands." "Grandpa, I'm sorry. If I had known earlier, I shouldn't have been so greedy. I have to come to accept the Star Officer's challenge, and I want a reward." Jinring-su has always been aloof. Her emotions and anger are not shown on her face. But at this moment, pain and regret appeared on his face. Just when she was mentally prepared to break through with all her strength, Lin Feng on the futon looked at Emperor Zuyi, opened his mouth and said, "Your Majesty, the prince is destined to have such a catastrophe, but auspicious people have their own appearance. It won't take long to tide over the difficulties. If your Majesty has nothing else to do, then the people in the arena will start to challenge." Emperor Zuyi was originally in a heavy and sad mood. This moment is much better, with a happy face these days. The challenge of star officials has created one miracle after another. So what Emperor Zuyi said to seniors convinced quickly bowed down and said, "Thank you senior for clarifying the confusion. Zuyi understands. You continue to accept the challenge of the star officials." "Continue, senior. I still have important matters to deal with. So I will leave." Then, Emperor Zuyi turned around and left. Everyone around the arena was extremely shocked. Unexpectedly, the majestic Emperor Ziyi of the Heaven Dao Empire would show such respect in front of the star officials. This made them have to re-examine the identity and status of star officials. Liu Erlong, Bibi Dong, Liena, Jin Rixu. All four women focused their eyes on the futon. On the silver-haired man with a calm expression from beginning to end. Liu Erlong compared Yu Zhigang with his predecessors. Finding that there is no comparison at all, it is an insult to the predecessors. Liena looked at her senior with tender eyes, full of admiration. Can't wait to hand over the prepared pastry to him. Bibi Dong secretly heaved a sigh of relief, and gratitude appeared in her eyes. Previously, her apprentice Liena was injured and fell into coma, and in the next few days she was even more distraught and trapped by love. She once complained about this man, but now it's all resolved. If it hadn't been for the senior to fool Emperor Ziyi in the end, then Jin Rixu's identity is very likely to be exposed. In this way, for Wuhun, all the hard work will be wasted, and there will be an impact on reputation. Jin Rixu looked at the senior in front of her with gratitude. For the first time since she was a child, she didn't feel disgusted by a man. At the same time, it also combines worship and gratitude. Jin Rixu is not a hypocritical person. Hiding her gratitude in her heart, a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth and said, "Senior, then I will continue the challenge." Lin Feng nodded and said okay. A pair of golden wings grew from behind Jin Rixu. He jumped into the air, in front of Lucky Xingaiyu. Yellow, purple, black, and black rose from the feet body, sweeping the entire arena with astonishing power. Then spread to the entire martial arts arena. A huge seraph spirit was condensed from behind Jin Rixu. A dazzling golden light was released, turning half of the sky into gold. Everyone except Lin Feng. The martial spirit in everyone's body is affected. Trembling, this is from the absolute suppression of Wuhun quality. Angel field, this is the innate domain power of the angel family. Especially after the soul power reaches the 70th level of the soul saint, the power can be fully displayed. This made Jin Rixu's soul power aura at this moment step into the control level. In order to maximize the increase, the angel domain only covers the arena area. But even so, the soul masters watching under the ring. Everyone can feel the horror of this field damage after casting the angel golden body. Angel domain also added an angel descending augmented soul skill. The breath of the whole person is raised to the extreme, bathed in golden light. It's like a real gout of angels descending. Two golden divine lights containing terrifying energy shot out from Jin Rixu's eyes. It turned into two beams of light and bombarded Lucky Star Feather. Xingai was startled slightly, absorbing the energy. The golden light exploded in the sky above the arena, extremely dazzling. A few minutes passed, the light dissipated and everything returned to calm. The golden wings behind Jin Rixu disappeared, and her body fell quickly. Lin Feng quickly got up and flashed over. Put your arms around the woman's waist to keep her from falling. The bodies of the two were so close to each other, and they landed steadily. Then Lin Feng let go of his hand. Turn around, and go back to the futon to sit down, and put away the lucky star feather. A red letter appeared in my mind. Jin Rixu reacted, her cheeks were as white as jade. There was a flash of a daughter's shy flush. Recalling the thumping feeling when my waist was hugged just now. His breathing became short of breath and his face looked unnatural. He quickly bit his tongue hard to regain his composure. Eyes returned to the original calmness before coming to the futon. I waited quietly for the result of the challenge from the seniors. Character, Jin Rixu, attack damage. 163,845 points, rating, B, reward. Low-profile version of Guanyin Tears. Low-profile version of Guanyin Tears, ignores defense, never fails, and can kill enemies below level 95 with one blow. Remarks, the low-profile version of Guanyin Tears can be given as a gift. PS, 5th change, 5/5. According to the original book, if you want to use Guanyin Tears, you need to practice several unique Tangman skills to the extreme before you can activate it. For simplicity, just use it directly. Chapter 54 Senior Playful. She is actually Yu Zhigang martial arts arena. Below the ring everyone's eyes widen after watching Jin Rixu attack with all her might. Weak and exhausted, the whole person fell from the air, fall down fast. The senior got up and moved. He arrived in time to wrap his arms around Jin Rixu's waist. Get her safely from the air to the ground. A person like Jin Rixu has a combination of beauty and temperament. A perfect woman with all her strength. Her slender waist was embraced by the senior's big arms. The bodies of the two are close together wholly. Until the last two fell firmly to the ground. Senior let go of his hand and returned to the futon to sit down. Everyone in the arena didn't react. Liena looked at this scene. As a woman, she was extremely envious of Jin Ringsu. Even if I constantly take the initiative to cater to and get close to my seniors, senior never cut half a point either. Now we can only pin our hopes on pastries as long as the senior is still willing to eat the cakes she made. And Liena felt that she still had a chance. Bibi Dong was surprised by senior's actions. Women have been among the previous challengers falling weak after the challenge. They will all be caught by lucky Xingaya. Who would have thought that this time the senior would take the initiative to save his daughter Jin Ringsu? Bibi Dong is the one who came here naturally. It can be seen that the senior is young and energetic, and he is a little playful. What should Liena do? She looked at Jin Ringsu, who had a flash of shyness in her eyes on the ring. Thinking of what I owed my daughter since childhood, I sighed silently. Liu Erlong has a cold face now. Angrily staring at Yu Zhigang, who was staying with Ma Hongjin. I just saw this pair of heroes who saved a beauty staged by the seniors. A picture that is enough to touch the heartstrings of every woman. It made Liu Erlong deal with Yu Zhigang. Hate for this guy rises. I would rather be a woman and Ma Hongjin without shame. I don't want to be a man again. Will he continue to be with her, Liu Erlong? Liu Erlong was completely disappointed and hopeless in his eyes. I want to see Yu Zhigang reveal his identity later. Ruined. I want in the world to know Xian Dao Guoshi. Yu Zhigang turned into a woman and still with men. Ma Hongjin sneaked out of the corner of his eye. He glanced at everyone, the senior and Jin Ringsu on the ring. It can be said that I am envious in my heart, but he didn't have the guts to compete with his senior for a woman. Now I have this stunner in my arms, comparable to Xia Wu, Zhu Huqing, and Ning Rongrong. He is satisfied with such a great beauty in the arena. Jin Ringsu had already calmed down her restless mood. You can listen to the discussion of in the arena. That's like a man with a talent and a woman with a beautiful appearance. Everyone are created by heaven and earth. The words such as these made her cheeks flush again. Shouted, shut up, the soul power that belongs exclusively to the angel martial soul. The faces of those who were suppressed in an instant turned pale. Quickly shut your mouth tightly. Only then did Jin Ringsu heave a sigh of relief. Who knew that when he turned around, he would see the person on the foot on a violent side feeling nervous for no reason. Lin Feng interrupted her and said, Jin Ringsu, congratulations on your 163,845 damage, awarded a B rating. Reward the low-profile version of Guanyin Tears 1. The low-profile version of Guanyin Tears is a top hidden weapon. Ignore defenses and never fail. It can be done against soul masters below level 95. One-hit kill. The low-profile version of Guanyin Tears is a hidden weapon that can be consumed at one time. Please use with caution. After the words fell, a black ball of light appeared in his hand, flying in front of Jin Ringsu. It turned into a drop-shaped metal object for a moment. Everyone in the audience was shocked, especially the two titled Douluo, Bibi Dong and Ghost. Judging by the attack strength of the soul skill that Jin Ringsu just released, the rewards of earning a B rating are all to be expected, but what surprised everyone was the reward: hidden weapon, low-profile version of Guanyin Tears, ignored defenses and never fall short, one-hit kills soul masters below level 95. This is simply comparable to the existence of artifacts. Just imagine, as long as you have Guanyin Tears, you can almost walk sideways in Douluo Continent. Title Douluo below level 95 dare not come to die. Title Douluo above level 95 didn't dare to risk his life. In short, the rewards Jin Ringsu received, everyone in the audience was envious. And there was an uproar. Jin Ringsu was able to shed tears from Guanyin in front of her eyes. Feel an extremely terrible breath. This is not a sense of oppression caused by energy or soul power. Rather, it comes purely from the fear and awe of life. She held out her hand tremblingly. Catch Guanyin's tears at the moment of touch? In the dark, it seems that some kind of fate has been drawn. Very strange. Jin Ringsu supported Guanyin Lui with both hands. Cheerful and excited, he hurriedly bowed deeply to the man in front of him. Saluting gratefully, said, "Thank you, senior." Lin Feng's gaze was unintentional. Saw something that shouldn't be seen. There will inevitably be some ripples in my heart. Zhang Se said, "These are all what you deserve." Officer's challenge. A shyness flashed in Jin Ringsu's eyes. Subconsciously, Su covered his chest with his hands. Walking off the ring with hurried steps, walked towards Bibi Dong, Liena, Ghost, and when she got close, both Bibi Dong and Ghost sensed an extremely dangerous aura. Both of them stared at Guanyin Lui with apprehension. All the soul masters gathered here fell silent again. The next two people who accepted this Star Officer's challenge, it is full of highlights and makes people look forward to it. For Wuhun Temple, Bibi Dong, she has been famous for a long time. With a soul power of 98, You must be able to get high rating rewards in the Star Official Challenges for Yu Zhiagang. Everyone is holding the attitude of watching a joke. A waste that was originally a mutated martial soul relying on the fame of the Shrek 7 monsters to become the master of Heaven Dao. No one agrees with this. Now there are feminine features on the body again. Becoming a man is not a man. A woman is not a woman. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Immediately, everyone's eyes were on Bibi Dong. The senior said Yu Zhiagang was on the scene, but no one can find his trace. Bibi Dong was calm on the surface, but sad in her heart. She was waiting for Yu Zhiagang to appear, and for him to accept the Star Officials Challenge first. For this man who occupies his entire youthful memories, even if Bibi Dong suffered countless hardships, his temperament changed drastically, and he became the supreme pope. It's not what it used to be, and I still can't let it go. Liu Erlong and Flender both looked at Yu Zhiagang. It was found that this guy was resting his head on Ma Hongjin's chest. His hands were lightly pinched and stroked. Suddenly felt nauseated, and all three views were shattered. On the ring, Lin Feng glanced at Bibi Dong, found her dejected. Bibi Dong, you are really a poor woman. As the biggest tragedy in Douluo Continent, today I will let you see Yu Zhiagang clearly, terribly cut off the evil fate that shouldn't be there, Lin Feng was thinking, and looked at Yu Zhiagang on the other side of the ring. When they saw him being hugged tightly by Ma Hongjin, while mopping, the evil smiled, slowly opened his mouth and said, Yu Zhiagang, you will come up first to accept the Star Officials Challenge. Immediately, he waved out a wave of formation power. Everyone in the audience held their breath. Formation, they really can't understand a waste. It's so hidden, let no one in the audience except the seniors find it. An ice-cold ruthlessness appeared in Liu Erlong's eyes. She had already started fantasizing about Yu Zhiagang, a ruthless pervert. The scene of being cast aside by the world after the identity is exposed. Bibi Dong's eyes narrowed slightly. He bit his lips tightly, obviously very disturbing. Finally, under the gaze of everyone, the power of the formation played by the senior fell on the big beauty in Ma Hongjin's arms, wrapped her and flew towards the arena. In an instant, everyone's face changed drastically, staring at the young woman brought to the ring by the power of the formation. Such a beautiful beauty. How could it be Yu Zhiagang? But they dare not question their predecessors. I don't believe that the seniors will make a mistake. Then there is only one possibility. She is really Yu Zhiagang. Many people in the arena have lost their minds. The three views were shattered to the ground. Liu Erlong put his arms around and looked at Yu Zhiagang with a terrified expression, showing a gleeful smile. Bibi Dong held a gem scepter in her hand. He stared at the woman who was brought to the ring. His pupils constricted and his face was horrified. Unsteady, he backed away. Exclaimed in his mouth, no, it's impossible. Liena quickly supported the teacher. Done. Ma Hongjin froze, suddenly paled face. Yu Zhiagang's warmth remained in his hands. There is also a faint fragrance. Yangxi, she. How could it be a master? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Senior must have made a mistake. Yes, it must be so. Ma Hongjin was emotionally talking to himself. He couldn't bear the thought of just now kissed Yangxi. It feels like the whole stomach is overwhelmed. Exciting right here moment in the spotlight. Yu Zhiagang was brought to the ring, cried out in horror. Senior, you must have made a mistake. How could I be Yu Zhiagang? Who is Yu Zhiagang? I do not know him. Yet he uttered the words. It is no longer the gentle, delicate female voice before. It was the deep uncle's voice. Yu Zhiagang's voice changed back to what it was before. Everyone in the audience heard it. The corner of Ma Hongjin's mouth twitched. There is a dead heart. Leaning directly on the wall, he vomited heavily. I can't wait to spit out my internal organs. Bursts of noise sounded at first, all for a young BBW. It is Yu Zhiagang who has doubts about this matter. But the beauty who was brought to the ring. After the deep voice that used to belong to Yu Zhiagang came out of his mouth, everyone was dumbfounded. The three views were shattered and began to doubt life. I only heard that Yu Zhiagang has changed temperament. Absolutely a first-class beauty. It's just a man who is sad when he sees it. Women will cry with envy when they see it. Wow, I can't stand it. I didn't expect that woman to be Yu Zhiagang. I just had evil thoughts about him. I'm not clean anymore. Damn it, Yu Zhiagang, you've become a woman, but it still can't change the fact that you used to be a man. I remember Ma Hongjin, one of the Shrek 7 monsters. He hugged Yu Zhiagang and kissed me just now. This Ma Hongjin's taste is too strong. Yu Zhiagang, don't you really think of yourself as a woman? You pervert are really disgusting. You have lost all the face of the Heaven Dao Empire. The Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sex face has also been lost by you. All of a sudden, there was overwhelming abuse. The sound of crusade came make Yu Zhiagang on the ring. No matter how ugly his face is, he squeezed his hands into orchid fingers, covered his face and shouted, don't do this. Don't do this, I don't want to be a woman either. Period. It's not my fault. How can you have so many people and bully me? You are so hateful. Following Yu Xiaogang's deep uncle voice say these womanly words, but the soul masters watching the battle under the ring were disgusted. One by one jumped into rage. I can't wait to rush to the ring, immediately kill Yu Xiaogang to death. It's a pity that he was blocked by the formation defense and couldn't go up. Liu Erlong looked at Yu Xiaogang on the ring. Saw him being spurned by. Lost and ruined, he secretly relieved his anger. It is at this time that I recall the past. When it was inside the starred out great forest. Burning vitality by oneself, accepting the spiritual challenge after a narrow escape. Obtained a mutated Haoshin martial soul pill. Seniors deliberately using this pill to harm him. Yu Xiaogang, I should have woken up a long time ago. I should have seen through your ruthlessness long ago. I don't know what's good or bad. I think Liu Erlong is really blind. In the past so many years, I was bewitched by you. Looking back now, you didn't do anything for me at all. Some are just those hypocritical sweet words. Yu Xiaogang, from now on I will be Liu Erlong. I have nothing to do with you. Liu Erlong clenched his fists and muttered to himself in a cold voice. His eyes looked at Yu Xiaogang on the ring again. Become extremely indifferent. It's like meeting a stranger you've never met. Seeing this, Flender secretly delighted. He walked to Liu Erlong's side. He reached out and patted her shoulder. The voice said softly and comfortingly, Erlong, I never thought that Xiaogang would be such a person. Now on, I will stay with you. Well, it won't make you feel alone. It's just that Flender's words haven't finished yet. Liu Erlong turned around and stared at her indifferently. Lips raised angrily and spit out a word. Get out. Flender was terrified. Back away quickly. I'm afraid to offend the female Tyrannosaurus at this time. As for Ma Hongjin, who thought he was lucky in the past, his whole body was already vomited and collapsed. His face was pale and feeble. Now just close your eyes. His mind was filled with pictures of himself and Yu Xiaogang kissing. He has the heart to die. Bibi Dong is here. She still looked disbelieving. With pain in his eyes, he stared at the ring. The young woman in the silk skirt simply cannot accept this fact. Now just think of Yu Xiaogang, lying in the arms of a man with a happy face. Bibi Dong felt like she was going to collapse. Feng looked at Yu Xiaogang, who looked weak. She looked him up and down, amazed. I didn't expect Liu Erlong to get it before. That mutated Haoshin martial soul pill, it will have such a miraculous effect. It turned Yu Xiaogang into a beautiful woman. From now on, Yu Xiaogang won't be rushed by other men, right? According to his looks, more Lin Feng thought about it, the more disgusted he felt. He quickly looked into the distance and fell unconscious. Ma Hongjin, who was carried out by the Imperial Forest Army. I almost couldn't help laughing out loud. He witnessed the scene of Ma Hongjin and Yu Xiaogang kissing with his own eyes. Really exciting. Lin Feng looked at Yu Xiaogang in front of him again. Opened his mouth and said, Yu Xiaogang, now you can inject soul power. I will start the star official challenge for you. Yu Xiaogang calmed down a little. The matter has come to this point, and the identity has been exposed. Completely irreparable. He nodded and said, yes, senior. However, his voice returned to a delicate female voice. It made under the ring excited again. One by one, they were like rampaging tigers. Dazzling golden light. The word attack appears. Lin Feng said, Yu Xiaogang, what you started is the attack challenge. Now launch your strongest attack and attack Lucky Xingqiu. Xingqiu will give you a rating based on the damage you have caused. Yu Xiaogang showed joy and nodded. Fortunately, this time I did not start a challenge that I am not good at. So she snorted. His right hand exudes a very strange atmosphere. It is different from the normal clear sky. Hammer spirit and his soul power is still at level 35. It's just that this martial soul hasn't had time to attach a spirit ring yet on the ring stage. A young and beautiful woman in a silk skirt. He held a pocket hammer wrapped in pink soul power in his hand. Leap up into the air. The hem of the skirt flutters, and you can see a beautiful scenery from bottom to top. A pair of slender, white long legs are exposed in everyone's field of vision. Those men looked straight. After he reacted, he remembered that this guy was Yu Xiaogang. Instantly felt sick. I can't wait to snap my eyes off. But others were shocked. As we all know, when we were at Shrek Academy a few days ago, Yu Xiaogang, because he offended his seniors, Wuhun was forcibly taken away. Why does he still have a martial soul? Period. Liu Erlong and Bibi Dong under the ring. Even though the two women were full of disgust towards Yu Xiaogang in their hearts, at this moment, all eyes were attracted by the martial spirit in the opponent's hand. I saw Yu Xiaogang holding a pink pocket Taoshan hammer. He bombarded Lucky Xingaiyu with all his strength. Xiaogang in shock. Unexpectedly, the martial spirit he possessed was so strong. Then I saw Yu Xiaogang falling quickly from the air with a weak face. Everyone looked at the seniors in unison. Bad Taste wonders if you will pick up Yu Xiaogang. Accompanied by a heavy muffled sound from the arena Ludli, not only was there no anger in my heart, but I was a little proud. That's the beauty of being a beautiful woman. Be the focus no matter where you are. That's why Yu Xiaogang really didn't want to turn back into a man. After feeling the rapid recovery of physical strength, he stood up awkwardly. The left hand holds the orchid shape and covers the chest. Mind, character, Yu Xiaogang, attack damage. 50,983, rating, C+, reward, Soul Ring Lucky Bag 3, Soul Ring Lucky Bag. After opening, a soul ring can be randomly opened, with a lifespan between 10,000 and 100,000 years. Remarks, the soul ring lucky bag and the obtained soul ring cannot be transferred. Lin Feng looked at the system information that appeared in his mind. His face was slightly astonished. Yu Xiaogang actually dealt more than 50,000 damage all at once. It's twice as much damage as Ma Hongjin's back then. This mutated clear sky hammer martial soul is not simple. There is a correspondence between data values and ratings. 1,000 to 4,999 for a D rating, 5,000 to 19,999 for a D plus rating, 20,000 to 49,999 for a C rating, 50,000 to 149,999 for a C plus rating, 150,000 to 399,999 for a B rating. Yu Xiaogang's damage dealt this time, although it's only in the early 50,000s, it's just at the level of C plus rating. Feng looked at Yu Xiaogang in front of him, looked away, opened his mouth and said, Yu Xiaogang, congratulations on your 50,983 damage, rated C+, reward Lucky Soul Ring Blessing Bag 3. Opening the lucky bag can reveal a spirit ring with a lifespan between 10,000 and 100,000. Lucky soul rings, lucky bags and opened soul are not gifts. A sign light ball rings was squeezed out of his hand. Flying in front of Yu Xiaogang, it turned into 3 exquisite lucky bags. PS, the second update, February 5th. Chapter 56 100,000 Years Soul Ring, Yu Xiaogang Backlash, Bibi Dong and Liu Erlong shake hands, start the desire challenge under the arena. Everyone was shocked again, did not think of Yu Xiaogang. It was actually able to be in the attack challenge. He dealt more than 50,000 damage and got a B+ rating. This is better than one of the original Shrek 7 monsters. Ma Hongjin's rating of C is even higher. Yu Xiaogang is at this very moment. Although the soul power has the level of 35. But he didn't attach a soul ring. In other words, he relied entirely on the handle in his hand. The power of a pocket hammer surrounded by pink soul power. Such a high damage. Everyone was puzzled. How did Yu Xiaogang get this powerful and weird martial spirit? In addition, everyone was shocked by the reward he received. 3 lucky soul ring bags to 100,000 years. Something so miraculous was unheard of. Maybe it's possible to get 300,000 year spirit rings at once if you're lucky. Liu Erlong, Flender, Bibi Dong, Jin Rixu, Liena, Ghost and others. They all stared at the 3 soul ring blessing bags in front of Yu Xiaogang with envious eyes. On the ring, Yu Xiaogang's face was flushed. There was a beautiful smile on the corner of his mouth. He stared happily at the 3 soul ring blessing bags in front of him. Quickly and tremblingly stretched out his hand to take it. Then he looked at the silver-haired man on the futon. Said coquettishly, "Thank you, senior." Lin Feng's mouth twitched when he heard this voice. He snorted and said angrily, "Get out." Immediately afterwards, a terrifying formation force surged. Blast Yu Xiaogang away, pain all over his body. Lin Feng said coldly, Yu Xiaogang, since he has accepted the Star Officials Challenge, rewarded too, then go down and let others come up to accept the Star Officers Challenge. Yu Xiaogang struggled to get up. Hastily cried out in horror, "Yes, senior." This time, he used a normal voice. "Don't dare to make any more mistakes." For fear of offending the seniors didn't leave the ring in order to avoid accidents, he decided to open these 3 lucky soul ring bags in the ring. Absorb the spirit ring before going down, be more safe. At that time, even Liu Erlong and Flender don't care about yourself. It can also have some self-defense ability. Therefore, Yu Xiaogang was full of excitement. How I wish that 300,000 year soul rings would be released. If it is possible to do so. he can become a soul master with 300,000-year soul. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. Majestic and majestic, show off the limelight plus this young and beautiful woman's body. Yu Zhigang is already dreaming his own dream of a happy future under the gaze of shocked eyes. He took the 3 lucky soul ring blessing bags in his hand, opened one after the other as quickly as possible. 3 soul ring blessing bags were suspended in the air at this moment. 3 dazzling red lights burst out. 3 breaths that belong exclusively to the 100,000-year soul ring swept away and set off a hurricane. I saw it at the edge of the ring. In front of Yu Zhigang. The 3 lucky soul ring blessing bags turned into 3 clusters of red lights. The shadows of 3 soul rings fatally appeared inside. The soul ring is red. That is, the most top-notch 100,000-year spirit ring moment. They all stared at the 300,000-year spirit rings on the ring. Everyone's expressions were extremely excited. Hot, crazy. After all, 100,000-year spirit ring is the same rings as 100,000-year spirit bone. It is something that every soul master dreams of. Everyone really didn't think of it. After Yu Zhigang became a woman, not only did he get a powerful and weird martial soul, to have such unfathomable luck. 3 lucky soul ring bags. 300,000-year soul were released. Zhigang, who had created 3 100,000-year soul rings. I didn't expect his luck to be so good. Could it be that after a man becomes a woman, his luck will improve, as soon as his thought appeared? I couldn't help but get goosebumps all over my body. But at this moment, a strange soul power appeared. It came out from Yu Zhigang's body. It turned into a pocket clear sky hammer surrounded by pink soul power. Hammer as if he had his own consciousness. He flew towards the 3 red 100,000-year soul rings, then devour them one by one in this way, including Yu Zhigang. Whether it's Lin Feng on the ring, or rings in the ring, everyone's face changed drastically, and they were shocked. Such weird things as the martial soul devouring the soul ring, shocking, unprecedented. But before they could react, the pocket clear sky hammer lightly shook 3 red 100,000-year soul with astonishing auras appeared around them. The soul rings were all absorbed. Yu Zhigang felt the surge of soul power in his body. There are also 3 terrifyingly powerful 100,000-year spirit rings that appeared in his mind. Full of excitement, with a happy smile on his face. However, the mutation protrudes. I saw the pocket clear sky hammer that had just devoured and absorbed 300,000-year spirit rings. Without warning, he flew in front of Yu Zhigang. Clear sky hammer kept attacking his head. A steady stream of pink soul power surged out, enveloping Yu Zhigang. A pink transparent cocoon was formed, making it impossible for Yu Zhigang to escape. Life would be worse than death. Oh no, you are my martial soul, how can you attack me? Stop devouring my consciousness. No, help. Senior, save me. Erlong, save me. I'm dying, defeat this cocoon, quick. Dong. Danger, please help me, please. I'm in so much pain, I don't want to die. Suddenly, Yu Zhigang's agony resounded throughout the martial arts arena. Life is worse than death, heart-piercing wails. It's so miserable, it makes people palpitate. Everyone stared at the arena. Inside the pink cocoon, Yu Zhigang was weak. Obviously this is the birth consciousness of the martial soul, want to devour the host and control the body. I thought Yu Zhigang had turned into a beautiful woman. Obtain a rare, powerful martial soul. Fortunately, 300,000-year spirit rings were produced. We'll be able to reach the pinnacle of life in the future. I never thought that I would be backlashed by my own martial soul now, which is embarrassing. The thought of this man being so ruthless and ungrateful is perverted. He even got involved with Ma Hongjin before. Feeling sick, a sneer formed at the corner of his mouth. Seeing this scene, Flender almost laughed out loud. Just now he was envious of Yu Zhigang's acquisition of a marvelous martial spirit. Also issued 300,000-year spirit rings. Now being backlashed by Wuhun in the blink of an eye is very satisfying. Bibi Dong stared at Yu Zhigang, who was getting weaker and weaker inside the pink cocoon. There was a little worry in his eyes. Subconsciously want to rush towards the ring. But Liena stopped her hand and whispered, "Teacher, if Senior wants Yu Zhigang to live, he has already shot himself. Will you wait until now? Our spirit hall disobeyed Seniors before, Such a thing must never happen again, otherwise it will only bring a huge disaster to the spirit hall. Jin Ringsu looked at the side at Bibi Dong and said in a cold voice, Bibi Dong, you are the Pope of Spirit Hall. Every move represents Wuhun Temple. Please pay attention to your identity. In the end, Jin Ringsu's words made Bibi Dong completely calm down. Let Yu Xiaogang's painful wails linger in his ears. Unmoved ground, with messy clothes on his body, the pocket Taoshan hammer lightly shook and sank into his body. The surrounding pink cocoons gradually disappeared. Yu Xiaogang also opened his eyes and stood up slowly. It's just that at this time, his eyes are indifferent, staring at everyone with vigilance. It is not difficult to imagine the real Yu Xiaogang. He's dead. Now it's just the consciousness born from the pocket clear sky hammer, controlling the body behind him. Immediately afterwards, he quickly incited and left a martial arts arena. Period. Flying towards the direction outside the Heaven Dao Palace, it disappeared from sight. After a brief silence, the audience broke out into heated discussions. Unexpectedly, Yu Xiaogang's success is also his martial soul, and his defeat is also his martial soul. In the end, will everyone end up in such a situation where the consciousness is swallowed up and the body is manipulated? Bibi Dong looked at the back of Yu Xiaogang, who was going away, and sighed heavily over. At this moment, Liu Erlong was in the same mood as Bibi Dong. The two looked at each other, and the previous hatred disappeared. Holding the gem scepter, Bibi Dong walked towards Liu Erlong. When he came to this woman, he stretched out his right hand and said, Liu Erlong, all the past grievances between you and me, it's all written off. How about it? Liu Erlong smiled, stretched out his right hand to hold it. He nodded and said, that's exactly what I mean. The eyes of the two women met. Quite a bit of sympathy and appreciation. On the ring, Lin Feng watched such a scene. Worse than me, it would be too shameful. Bibi Dong smiled confidently, turned around and said, my goal for Bibi Dong is an A rating, power. I will start the star official challenge for you. Bibi saluted at the east end, and said respectfully, yes, senior, then take out the lucky star feather and inject soul power. Feng saw the word desire displayed by Xingyu. His eyes narrowed slightly and he said, Bibi Dong, what you started is the desire challenge. Wait a minute, lucky Xingyu will bring your consciousness to a small parallel world. In the small world, you will experience 4 different types of tests. As long as you complete a part, you can get rating rewards. Of course, after entering the small world, everything you know about the Star Officers Challenge, they will all be erased temporarily. Good luck. For a time, almost everyone in the audience, they all subconsciously looked at the sky. The 4th desire challenge is the Golden Monument. The desire challenge is also called the Grid Challenge. After the consciousness enters the small world, need to pass 4 kinds of tests such as wealth, couple, law and land. Among the 7 emotions and 6 desires based on human nature, greed is the most terrible thing. One can imagine how difficult the challenge of desires ring. Ghost and the others looked at Bibi Dong worriedly. Liu Erlong folded his arms and waited quietly. On the ring, Bibi Dong's face changed slightly. He looked at the silver-haired man on the futon in front of him. Prostrating, I understand, senior. Immediately afterwards, she placed the gem scepter horizontally on the ground. He was very uneasy. He murmured in a low voice, 4 kinds of tests, wealth, couple, legal, land. K refers to finances and interests, couple refers to a lover, a relationship of the opposite sex, far refers to powerful power and ability, land is the supreme status, power. These 4 types of tests seem to me, it seems that either one will be difficult to pass. Bibi Dong is the Pope of Spirit Hall whose subordinates control countless people and are familiar with human nature, especially knowing yourself best, but she had missed an opportunity to accept the Star Officers Challenge before. If I give up again this time, I really feel unwilling. Think of me, Bibi Dong, walking all the way. I have encountered countless difficulties, and once did I shrink back. Desire is just a challenge, so come on. Bibi Dong's gaze became sharp and firm on the futon. Lin Feng looked at Bibi Dong in front of him. He looked up at the lucky star feather glowing with golden light. He knows this desire challenge not all is fiction. It will lead to the unforgettable experience of a small number of challengers as a basis for testing. Like yesterday, old Jack accepted the desire challenge. The beloved woman Xia Fang who appeared in the small world of consciousness is a real person. Bibi Dong, perhaps today's desire challenge, down. Lucky Xingyu in the sky is also at this time. A golden light that contained mysterious power descended, covering Bibi Dong's entire body. It caused her eyes to close tightly. At the same time, a huge jade mirror condensed in the air. Lucky Xingyu flew to the jade mirror and condensed a word. Under the arena, Jin Ringsu stared at the jade mirror above the arena. Next, inside the small world of consciousness, the young Bibi Dong leaned against the Pope. This is her second year as Pope. Below, Zhu Daoluo Yuguan saluted and said anxiously, "Report to His Excellency the Pope. Something is wrong. The treasury of Wuhan is seriously short of money. Emergency funding activated now. If you can't quickly find a new source of financial income, there must be chaos inside the Wuhan Hall. At that time, there will definitely be supporters of the Pope. Let's go to the big priest. The consequences will be disastrous." Bibi Dong's face was full of anger, and she shouted impatiently. I know about this, Elder Zhu. Step down first. I will come up with a solution as soon as possible. Yu Guan didn't dare to stay, and quickly responded, "Obey, my Lord Pope." Then, quickly exit the papal palace. And after he left, Bibi Dong on the Pope's throne erupted with a terrifying aura. The entire Pope's palace was crumbling. It seemed like it might collapse at any moment. Scepter in Bibi Dong's hand hit the ground heavily. Gritting his teeth angrily, he roared, Chihiro-ji, you really hurt me so badly. Leave such a battered and riddled spirit hall." At this time, two figures, one old and one young, came from outside the Pope's palace. Bibi Dong was in an extremely bad mood and was about to get angry. But when he looked up, he found that it was Daoluo holding a little girl. "It's her daughter, Jin Ringsu." Bibi Dong suppressed her anger and snorted coldly and said, "Jin Daoluo, are you here to see my joke? You are not welcome here. Go back to your worship hall." Jin Daoluo looked indifferent, and said, "Xiaoxu has been yelling about you and wants me to bring her over." Bibi Dong smiled coldly, shouted, "Jin Daoluo, isn't your Jin family hurting me enough? The reason why I, Bibi Dong, became what I am now, it's not thanks to you. Get out of the Pope's palace." Jin Daoluo looked angry and glanced at his granddaughter behind him. He could only suppress the anger in his heart. Said, "Xiaoxu, have you seen it too? No matter how many times you come to this woman, she will just drive you away every time. Hey, Xiaoxu, go back to the hall of worship with Grandpa." The little girl called Xiaoxu had red eyes. A sneak peek at the woman on the Pope's throne. Then Jin Daoluo led him away from the Pope's palace. And the moment the door of the Pope's palace closed, Bibi Dong had a cold, angry face. 2 tears fell from the corners of his eyes, sobbing silently deep inside. For years the memories she didn't want to face, they are all awakened at this moment. Sadness appeared in his eyes because these pictures have all happened in real life. Ever since Jin Ringsu was born, I have never been hugged by my biological mother once. He has always grown up with his grandfather Jin Daoluo. When she was very young, I tried to get close to Bibi Dong, to get close to the woman who gave birth to her, but they were pushed away again and again. Heartbroken and utterly hopeless inside the small world of consciousness, the Pope's palace where Bibi Dong is located, become a vast expanse of whiteness. A little girl is bound by a rope made of mysterious energy. It's Jin Ringsu. The tears in the corners of Bibi Dong's eyes were not yet dry. An anxious expression appeared on his face. Quickly got up and rushed towards the little girl. But he was blown away by a terrifying energy, sealing the soul power in his body. Male indifference around the seductive voice said, "Bibi Dong, now you have 2 choices. The first one is to obtain wealth that is incomparable to an enemy country, and use it to solve the difficulties that Wuhan is currently encountering, and you can use this wealth to create an invincible army to fulfill your ambition to dominate the Douluo Continent. But if you choose this way, then your daughter Jin Ringsu will definitely die. The second way, choose to save your daughter Jin Ringsu, and lose these at the same time. Shockingly easy to get wealth. Make your choice." In the outside world, looked at Jin Ringsu in disbelief. Unexpectedly, she would be the daughter of the current Pope of Wuhan. At the same time, Bibi Dong's ambition is to dominate the Douluo Continent. This news is in line with the development and trend of Wuhan over the years, but the pressure given to other forces is also terrifying. After all, Wuhan has developed rapidly in recent years, and has more than half of the mainland's Soul Master reserves. It has become the 3rd largest superpower above other sect powers. Jin Ringsu stared closely at the picture in the jade mirror. Seeing this scene, her body trembled slightly. "Bibi Dong, will you choose me?" Jin Ringsu squeezed out these words through her teeth, and her eyes were already red. Inside the small world of consciousness, embarrassment looking at the daughter bound by the rope in front of her without any hesitation, the voice resolutely shouted, "I don't want this wealth, I just want my daughter to be safe." With Bibi Dong's last word, she finished. Tears rolled down her eyes again, and a happy smile appeared on her face. The rope that restrained Jin Ringsu was loosened accordingly. In the outside world, a number 9 appeared on Lucky Zengyu. In front of the jade mirror, there is a word couple. Under the ring, Jin Ringsu, her covered mouth and wet with joy around as she has been strong since she was a child when she saw herself being firmly chosen by Bibi Dong. She was still so excited that she couldn't control her emotions, even knowing that these are just the contents of the test. Jin Ringsu still felt a love from Bibi Dong, which she had never felt since she was a child inside the small world of consciousness. Bibi Dong and a young man when she was a girl taking a sweet walk in the yard. The man is Yu Xiaogang. Bibi Dong looked at the man in front of her and said excitedly, Xiaogang, can you stop frowning? I'm going to find the teacher right now. Tell him about us. I believe the teacher will definitely agree that the two of us are together. Ji said cautiously, Teacher, I like Xiaogang, and Xiaogang also likes me. Can you stop us from being together? Period. Although I am the teacher's apprentice, the saint of Wuhun Temple, but Xiaogang is also very good. He is very accomplished in martial arts. So, teacher, will you promise to let us be together? There was a ruthless look in Chihiroji's eyes, and he smiled kindly on the surface and said, Danger, I can see that you like Yu Xiaogang very much. Then I won't embarrass you as a teacher. I agree with you to be together. Bibi Dong smiled happily, and quickly said, Thank you, teacher, you are the best for me. Teacher, I'm going to tell Xiaogang the good news. However, the moment she turned around, Chihiroji hit Bibi Dong's head with a blow, knocking her unconscious. He hugged his hands and walked into the Pope's palace, and came to a secret room. P.S. The 4th update, April 5th. Chapter 58, the test of spells kills the ghosts of the Moon Pass, and the test of ground spells becomes the master of the world. Rated C Martial Arts Arena. Under the ring now there is an uproar. Everyone never thought of it. The former Bibi Dong was in her girlhood to have such a relationship with Yu Xiaogang. Bibi Dong's teacher is Chihiroji, the former Pope of Wuhun, and you can follow the picture in the jade mirror. Chihiroji knocked Bibi Dong unconscious and brought her into the secret room. Obviously something is wrong. Seeing this scene, Ghost Douluo Yui's face changed slightly. The tragedy that happened to Bibi Dong that year. He knows something very sympathetic to this woman who Liena didn't know. The teacher Bibi Dong, he once had such an unknown relationship with Yu Xiaogang, but then why become strangers? Dong's previous personality was gentle and pleasant. Why did he become so indifferent and strong now? Jin Ringsu saw her father Chihiroji the moment Bibi Dong was knocked unconscious by a sneak attack from behind. I found the greed in Chihiroji's eyes. She has seen it in the eyes of countless men. Understand what these represent. A bad premonition rose from the bottom of my heart. Let Jin Ringsu recall Bibi Dong's last test. A sad and weeping scene in the Pope's palace. Could it be that father? It was really hard for Jin Ringsu to say those words at this moment. The whole heart raised to the throat as I stared at the changing scene in the jade mirror on the ring. His hands trembled tightly. Liu Erlong saw Bibi Dong and Yu Xiaogang, who were in love in the test. Even if you let go of your feelings completely in your heart, it will still be very complicated. But when he saw Bibi Dong being knocked out and taken into the secret room, her daughter's sixth sense frightened her. He understood that something would definitely happen to Bibi Dong next. Inside the small world of consciousness, the scene keeps changing. Came to a secret room. Pope Chihiroji is getting dressed and the ground is extremely messy. You can see that they are all women's clothes, obscene clothes on the bed. A woman in ragged clothes wrapped in a quilt. A pungent smell lingered throughout the secret room. After a while, Bibi Dong woke up. He found that his clothes had been taken off. Lower body aches when a man wearing clothes appeared in front of him. Her face was pale, and she cried out in a trembling voice, Teacher, how could you treat me like this? I am your apprentice. How can I face Xiaogang in the future? The woman's sad and desperate voice echoed in the secret room. Chihiroji put on her clothes and walked to the bed in a leisurely manner. Looking at the sad and painful apprentice on the bed with blurred eyes and tears, he said with a cold smile, Danger. That fellow Yu Xiaogang is not good enough for you. Don't even think about looking for him, because you are unclean. You are already my Chihiroji woman. He won't want you. He will only look down on you. Also, you are in your stomach now, already pregnant with the blood of my angel family. Even with the most vicious means, I want to keep you by my side too. If you dare to secretly get rid of the child in your stomach, then I will personally lead the troops to attack the Blue Lightning Overlord Dragon Sect, put Yu Xiaogang to death. Don't worry, as long as you obediently give birth to the child in your stomach, I will let you go and let you go back to freedom. At that time, even if you want to find Yu Xiaogang, I will never stop you. In the secret room, Chihiroji's evil and cold voice echoed. It fell into Bibi Dong's ears. It made her fall into endless despair and pain. In this way, Bibi Dong was put under house arrest by Chihiroji until 10 months later a daughter was born to regain freedom. It was only when Bibi Dong walked out of the Pope's palace sunlight fell on her cheeks. The smile that used to accompany her has disappeared, become expressionless, eyes indifferent. The whole person is as emotionless as a walking dead outside world. Everyone in the arena was silent. Everyone stared at Bibi Dong in the jade mirror. His face was full of anger, and he was very angry. The picture in this section is really too real. It is too deeply rooted in the hearts of the people and resonates. So that has no doubts about the authenticity. Not to mention everyone seeing Jin Ringsu, who is Bibi Dong's daughter. The apprentices Liena, the two of them have long been weeping encounters in the past. Not just being bullied. She was also placed under house arrest for 10 months pregnant. The former Pope of Wuhun and Chihiroji is simply despicable and shameless. When Jin Ringsu saw Bibi Dong's sad and desperate look in the secret room, finally woke up suddenly. Understand why this woman hates his father Chihiroji so much? Period. Why do you regard the entire angel family as an enemy? The reason why I have neglected myself since I was a child? It turns out that this is the truth of the matter. It turns out that Bibi Dong has suffered such hardships before. Father, how can you compare Bibi Dong like this? It was you who killed her. It was you who killed her. Jin Ringsu's hatred for Bibi Dong over the years was all at this moment dissipated into deep guilt. Liu Erlang grabbed it tightly with his fist. She wished she could immediately rush into the jade mirror and kill Jin Sunji for Bibi Dong revenge as a woman. She sympathized with Bibi Dong's experience very much. I hated Yu Zhigang even more in my heart. If he could stop Bibi Dong from going to Jin Sunji at that time, or to make up your mind to take Bibi Dong out of the spirit hall, maybe Bibi Dong won't end up in such a miserable situation. Small world of consciousness. Bibi Dong walked on the street alone. It feels like the world is dark. Extremely desperate. At this time, the surrounding environment changed suddenly. Came to a white world. Chihiroji was tightly bound, with a frightened expression on his face. Zhigang happily, Chihiroji, you ruined me, it's all you, I am going to kill you. Bibi Dong was completely insane, holding the sword in both hands and charged toward Jin Sunji with a murderous aura. Who'd have thought that it would be knocked out by the invisible barrier? A man's indifferent and seductive voice sounded around. Bibi Dong, now you have two choices. First, take the sword in your hand and kill Chihiroji to avenge him, but in this case, Yu Zhigang will definitely die. The second way, choose to put down the sword in your hand and let Jin Sunji go. In this case, Yu Zhigang can survive. Make your choice now. Bibi Dong got up from the ground in pain. I recalled what happened in the secret room that day in my mind. The expression is crazy, killing intent is monstrous. The next 90 days in captivity were like hell on earth. It caused her temperament to change drastically and she was completely desperate. But in the end, Bibi Dong thought of Yu Zhigang. Thinking of the man he loved deeply, tears of grief rolled down the corners of his eyes. The sword in his hand fell off, and he shouted hoarsely, I can't let Zhigang have an accident. I'm already sorry for him. I want Zhigang to live safely. I want him to be safe, accompanied by Bibi Dong's crazily excited voice. In the outside world, a number 0 is condensed in front of the jade mirror. Lucky Xingyu radiates golden light and turns into Fa character. Small world of consciousness. Bibi Dong and Chrysanthemum Douluo Yuan, Ghost Douluo ghosts walk together. Go to the mixed area of Star Dao Forest. Successfully hunted and killed a 100,000-year soft bone rabbit. After Bibi Dong absorbed the spirit ring, he was hunted down by the Titan giant ape, the king of the forest, and the sky blue bull python, the king of the forest. My lord Pope, the old ghost and I will stay here to hold back these 200,000-year spirit beasts. Get out of here quickly, old ghost. Let's go together. Good. 2 levels of stillness. Suddenly, a terrifying sealing force spread from Yuguan and Gimri. The space within a radius of 1 kilometer is sealed. Even the Titan giant ape and Azure bull python are no exception. Bibi Dong looked behind her and desperately blocked the 200,000-year soul beasts Yuguan and Ghost. With gratitude in his eyes, he shouted anxiously, Thank you, you two elders. You have to be careful. But just as she was about to leave here, the surrounding environment changed suddenly. Come to a world of whiteness. A sharp sword appeared in front of her, exuding a mysterious aura. As if as long as you have this sword, you can have invincible power. With an excited expression, Bibi Dong stretched out her hand, ready to grab the hilt of the sword. Seductive voice sounded around. Bibi Dong, this is Hanlu's sword. The person who owns it can easily kill a peerless Douluo with a soul power of level 99. You now have 2 choices. The first is to obtain the Hanlu sword and kill Yuguan and ghosts. The second is to give up the Zhanlu sword. I will help you save Yuguan and Gigi, and send you away from the starred-out Great Forest. Make your choice. Bibi Dong looked excitedly at Zhan Lujian in front of her, shocked by the invincible aura exuding from above. He stretched out his right hand subconsciously. Suddenly, she thought of the moon pass and ghosts who chose to stay and trap the king of the forest, the titan giant ape, and the king of the forest, the sky green bull python. The outstretched right hand paused in the air. But in the next moment, those unfortunate encounters in the past flashed in his mind, agitated, crazy. Her hand moved again, holding this Hanlu sword, and said excitedly, I choose to get this Hanlu sword, and kill Yuguan and Gigi. When Bibi Dong's last word fell, in the outside world, a number 0 is condensed in front of the jade mirror. The lucky star feather shines golden light and turns into Chinese character for Earth. Self-deprecating smile formed on the shadowy face. For myself and Yuguan all these years, I feel worthless for Bibi Dong. Inside the small world of consciousness, Bibi Dong wears armor and commands countless soul masters to guard Jialing Pass. It can face the incoming million-day fighting army. The battle situation is critical and extremely bad. Not only the city gate was broken, but a large number of soul masters were absolutely slaughtered. Even the titled Douluo on our own side suffered casualties. Voice, soldiers of the Spirit Empire, follow me to break out of Jialing Pass, fight to the death with the army of the Heaven Dao Empire. As a result, the severely injured Soul Master soldier shouted with great momentum, the Spirit Empire must win, the Spirit Empire must win, we are willing to swear to follow His Majesty, survive and die with the Spirit Empire. Of blood he rushed out of Jialing Pass and fought to the death with the Xiandao army. It's a pity that the general situation is over, and it is only a matter of time before it is destroyed. Bibi Dong summoned the real body of the Death Spider Emperor, and she became extremely ugly. The lower body turned into spider form. Angrily shouted Zhu Beng, although the Spirit Empire has lost today, but I, Bibi Dong, have not lost. Even if there is no end to redemption in the end, I will also take you to be buried with Emperor Xiandao. But, just when Bibi Dong was about to attack the Heaven Dao army, the surrounding environment changed suddenly and came to a white world. In front of her eyes appeared a dragon chair that gathered the luck of heaven and earth. It symbolizes the supreme identity and status. An indifferent and seductive voice sounded around, Bibi Dong, this is the throne of heaven and earth, blessed by the luck of heaven and earth. Now you have two paths to choose from. First, at the cost of the lives and deaths of all remaining Spirit Empire soul masters and soldiers, ascend to the throne of heaven and earth, become the ruler of the world, and take charge of everything. The second rule is to revive all dead Spirit Empire soul masters and soldiers, and once again fight to the death with the Heaven Dao army. You will lose the qualification to ascend to the throne of heaven and earth. At this time, Bibi Dong was completely dazzled by the killing and victory or defeat. He strode towards the throne of heaven and earth and yelled frantically, I choose the first one, ascend to the throne of heaven and earth, and become the ruler of the world. When she ascended the throne of heaven and earth and sat down with her body in a state of tranquility in the outside world, a number 0 is condensed in front of the jade mirror. Then the jade mirror disappeared. A golden light of the lucky star feathers faded away. It flew to Lin Feng and was put away. A scarlet letter appeared in his mind. Character, Bibi Dong. Desire score, 9. Rating, C. Reward, Cursed Zhanlu Sword 1. Cursed Zhanlu Sword. Zhanlu Sword is also known as the Sword of Benevolence. The stronger the power of benevolence possessed by the user, the stronger the power it can exert. Now Zhanlu Sword has been attacked by the power of the curse and has become the most common iron sword. It needs to constantly absorb the power of benevolence to restore its former glory. Remarks, Zhanlu Sword cannot be gifted. P.S. 5th change, 5/5, desire challenged here. I want to show Bibi Dong's cruel and unscrupulous character. Besides caring about Jinriksu will become richer and more interesting. Also, I can't all favor female characters, give good rewards, and only exploit male characters, which would be unbalanced. Chapter 59. The Pope who shocked the world. Bibi Dong was reborn, got Zhanlu Sword and decided to rule the world with the benevolence martial arts arena. Under the ring everyone is watching Bibi Dong after the 4 tests about fair and land of wealth. Everyone was shocked. Never thought of the aloof Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhun, and he actually had such an unknown relationship with Yu Zhigang. He was also violated by his teacher Chihiroji, threatened and imprisoned for a full 10 months. She regained her freedom after giving birth to her daughter Jinriksu, but since then, Bibi Dong's temperament has changed drastically. The face is no longer as full of smiles as before. She is in the test of money, in order to save her daughter Jinriksu. She gave up her endless wealth not only touched countless people present, it also made Jin Ringsu feel the love from her mother for the first time. This has never happened since I was a child, but after Jin Ringsu saw that Bibi Dong was in the test of love, all the time in the whole process, she suddenly woke up and understood why this woman was. He hated his father Chihiroji so much, hate the angels so much, and love themselves. It's all because of her father. Chihiro's disease hurt Bibi Dong. Jin Ringsu felt guilty knowing the truth, but she didn't expect Bibi Dong's deep affection for Yu Xiaogang. It was able to make her let go of her hatred for Chihiroji, leading to the failure of the couple test. And there's the test of Dharma and Earth. Everyone was secretly started unexpectedly. Bibi Dong would choose in the end get this Hanlu sword, kill it and stay for her chrysanthemum Douluo Yuguan, who tracked 2 100,000-year-old soul beasts. There is also Ghost Douluo Ghost. This move is vicious and self-serving. Ruthless. The ghost under the ring saw this scene in the test of soul masters in the spirit hall, the scene of the garrison at Jialing Pass, and the battle to the death with the millions of Xiandao troops. Bibi Dong actually established a spirit empire. The ambition of fighting for Douluo Continent has also been put into action. The key was Bibi Dong at that time. He also called the emperor of the Xiandao army to be Zhu Bang. The word avalanche made everyone stunned, incompetent, idle around all day. How could he become the Heaven Dao emperor? Where's Emperor Zhu? It's just that they haven't waited for their reaction. I saw that Bibi Dong actually chose to sacrifice the lives of all remaining soul masters and soldiers of the Wuhun Empire, step onto the throne of heaven and earth and become the ruler of the world. For such a merciless, do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. Selfish, single-minded pursuit of supremacy, a woman of status and power. It is really scary, the content screen of Bibi Dong's test today. Even if not all of them are real. But it also has a certain reference value. It is her choice and judgment made on a specific occasion. It also truly reflects the ugly and dark side of human nature. Everyone couldn't help admiring yesterday's desire challenge. Pass 4 tests in succession. Score of 32, rated A for Old Jack. Today's incident spread. All forces in the entire Douluo Continent will compare Bibi Dong. Beware of Wuhun Temple and plan ahead. As for Bibi Dong, it will also be due to the choices made in today's test. In terms of prestige and belief, he was affected to a certain extent inside Wuhun Temple. At the same time, the former Pope Chihiroji's despicable and shameless behavior. It will definitely be widely circulated in the mainland, and it will make the angel family lose face. On the ring, food on. Bibi Dong suddenly woke up. Her face was excited and crazy. He was panting heavily with his hands on the ground. Recall what happened in the small world of consciousness. It was as if she had experienced it herself, which made her extremely terrified. Period. It turns out that I have always cared about Xiaoxu in my heart. I don't know that Bibi Dong, is in this life. Is there any chance to meet my own daughter? I have been alienated for so many years and hate Xiaoxu. She must hate me very much right now. Bibi Dong muttered to herself. Tears of remorse rolled from the corners of her eyes after thinking about what happened in the couple reading test. The killing intent erupted in his heart, and his eyes became extremely cold. For Yu Xiaogang, she had already let go of it completely. There's only increased hatred for that despicable person Chihiroji. It was he who destroyed himself. The following thought concept is being tested. Even Bibi Dong herself never thought of it. In the end, he will choose to obtain the Hanlu sword and kill the loyal Yuguan and Ghost. But she thought about it. If you have another chance to choose, I will really make the same choice after this resentment challenge. Bibi Dong saw through some things, changes in mood and personality. His eyes showed guilt, and he looked at the ghost under the ring, but seeing the other party turned his head with a cold face. And in the test of earth, thought Bibi Dong didn't expect the spirit empire she created. In the end, he will be defeated by the $1 million Xiandao army at Jialing Pass. Even more unexpected, the Emperor Xiandao at that time would actually be the 4th Prince Zhu Bang. Even if Emperor Zhu is dead, then it will only be Xiaoxu who inherits the throne. What the hell happened in the middle? Avalanche, as Bibi Dong muttered. A cold light appeared in her eyes. Anyone who dares to obstruct her wish to dominate Douluo people or forces, she will eradicate them no matter the cost. It's just that in the end he chose to survive with the remnants of the spirit empire. The cost is the lives of soul masters and soldiers. Go to the throne of heaven and earth and become the ruler of the world. Thinking about it now, Bibi Dong regretted it very much. Perhaps my previous ruling methods, a change has to be made. Otherwise, don't talk about unifying the Douluo Continent. Everyone inside the Wuhan Palace will lose popular support, and the Pope's position will be unstable. She could already foresee that after the story of the ordeal spread. What earth Shaking changes will take place inside Wuhun, and it can be regarded as Bibi Dong who has overcome obstacles all the way. She didn't back down from these difficulties. I firmly believe that I will be able to gain the hearts of the people again with my hard work, take charge of the Wuhun Palace, and establish the Wuhun Empire, crusade against all forces and unify the Douluo Continent. This is her. Bibi Dong. To calm down, Bibi Dong held a gem scepter, stand up and walked towards the futon. He looked at the silver-haired man in front of him. The mood at this time is slightly more complicated, more full of awe. Salute said, "Senior, I have completed the Star Official Challenge. Not sure what rating I got." Lin Feng watched as he finished accepting the desired challenge. Bibi Dong, who adjusted so quickly, this fearlessness, peak confidence in the end. He created the Wuhun Empire with his own strength, the perseverance and courage to independently complete the inheritance of the god position and become a god. This is what he thinks the Pope of Wuhun should look like compared to Tang San and Jinrixu, who also became gods. Bibi Dong didn't get anyone's strength or help. She should be the most talented person in Douluo Continent. Lin Feng rarely showed a smile, nodded and said, "Bibi Dong, you only passed one of the 4 tests. Read the challenge and get a score of 9. Rated C. Reward a cursed Zhanlu sword." Zhanlu sword is also known as the sword of benevolence. The stronger the power of benevolence possessed by the user, the stronger the power it can display. Now Zhanlu sword has been attacked by the power of the curse and reduced to the most common iron sword. It's like your heart is filled with endless desires. It's extremely unbearable. If you can change your past, rule the world with benevolence, and win the hearts of the people, then this Zhanlu sword will be able to cleanse the evil and regain its former power. Comparable to the supreme artifact, it can help you fulfill your ambitions. The Zhanlu sword cannot be given as a gift. When Lin Feng said this, he paused. He continued, "Bibi Dong, I hope you will one day, being able to dissolve the resentment in my heart and be the former self again." After the words fell, a blue light cluster appeared in his hand, flying in front of Bibi Dong. It turned into a sword wrapped in dark and evil energy. Bibi Dong listened to what Senior said. Deep down was touched. It felt like a world where there was only darkness. Suddenly a ray of light pierced the sky. "Light her up and wake her up." Especially the last sentence, "Get back to being who you used to be," reminds Bibi Dong of her youth and girlhood. He was innocent and lively before meeting Yu Zia Gang. "Be happy every day." A heartfelt smile appeared on her face. Emotionally murmured, "Is everything really going back?" There is a sense of anticipation and longing in the tone. Bibi Dong took a deep breath. Put a gem scepter into the soul guide. Stretching out his hands to catch Zhanlu sword, his heart sank. It's like choosing to face all kinds of unfortunate encounters at this moment. Her hands began to tremble slightly, and she became angry. A monstrous killing intent surged around him unconsciously. However, Bibi Dong recalled the test of the character, kind of cautious, joyful and expectant gaze. Bibi Dong seemed to possess magical powers, forcibly suppress the anger and killing intent in his heart. The coldness on his face was replaced by a smile. The right hand holds the hilt of Zhanlu sword. The left hand gently stroked the blade. Even if the evil breath invaded the body, he didn't even notice it. In this split second the former one hides sorrow and pain, become ruthless and use any means to achieve his goals. He only wants to destroy the angel family, unify the Douluo Continent. Mind controlled by power. Pope Bibi Dong, who is obsessed with profit. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. She was born again. Even if covered with thorns and shackles. Like this Zhanlu sword surrounded by evil breath. I also always firmly believe that there will be a day when the glory will bloom again. Bibi Dong put away Zhanlu sword. His eyes looked gratefully at the silver-haired man in front of him. I saluted him solemnly. A beautiful smile appeared on his face. Seriously said, "Thank you, Senior." Lin Feng also smiled. He could see the change in the woman. I hope that Bibi Dong can walk out of a different life path in the future. Slowly opened his mouth and said, "Go on, the adventure challenge is about to start." Bibi Dong smiled calmly and said, "Yes, Senior." Immediately afterwards, she turned around and strode off the ring, ignoring the strange eyes spreading around. But a weak figure appeared at this moment, stand in front of her. It was the one with red eyes and a face full of guilt and sadness. Jinrixu PS, the first update, 1/5. Chapter 61. Didn't dare to speak and the other didn't dare to ask. With a breath of fairy air, Bibi Dong, Jinrixu and her daughter recognized each other. Martial arts arena. Under the ring, those soul masters who gathered here to watch the battle, everyone stared in shock. Bibi Dong was walking down from the ring. Some sneered and disdainful looked down on her, an insulted woman. She felt that she was able to succeed by relying on her body. The Pope seated aloft in the Wuhan Palace, even if his own soul power is only the soul sect. The soul master, but he also looks down on Bibi Dong from the bottom of his heart. There are also some people who are very sympathetic to what happened to Bibi Dong, feel sorry for the poor woman. Among these people there are contempt and blessings, both good and bad of course. Some people survived the test. It can be seen that Bibi Dong is cruel and merciless to achieve the goal by any means. Focus on pursuing only the supreme power and power. And such a dangerous person. It turned out to be the controller of a big force. A super Douluo with soul power as high as level 98. This will be a huge disaster for all parties. Liu Erlong watched as he came down from the ring. Bibi Dong with a smile on her face. Seems a lot relieved now. Even the smile comes from the heart. Bibi Dong, I didn't expect your past to be so unfortunate. Compared to you, what I've been through is nothing. You are a respectable opponent, or friends. Liu Erlong looked at Bibi Dong with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Liena was very worried about her teacher. I didn't expect this desire test. It will reveal all the things she used to do, insulted by his own teacher. She was in prison for 10 months and gave birth to her daughter. All these things are known to outsiders. How much should it hurt self-esteem? Liena knew that teacher Bibi Dong was very angry. He cares very much about his Pope's face. How to face the world now? Who would have thought that Bibi Dong would act as if nothing happened? With an easy, beautiful smile she's never seen before. Although Liena didn't understand what happened to the teacher, for her as for what Bibi Dong showed in the test, she doesn't care about all kinds of cruel methods, because in these years of getting along she could feel that the teacher was really kind to her. Just one of the tests is about Ju Douluo Yu1 and Ghost Douluo Gigi. On one side is the respected teacher, on one side are the two grandpas who accompanied her to train and grow up. I don't know what to do. Liena looked towards the ghost. It was found that his eyes were cold and his face was extremely ugly. Grandpa Ghost, are you alright? She walked up to the ghost and said worriedly. Ghostly's cold eyes were a little softer. He reached out and stroked the little girl's head. Shaking his head with a smile, he said, Nana, I'm fine, don't worry. But he turned around after he finished speaking. Looking at the blue sky, his face was gloomy. Jin Ringsu watched Bibi Dong walk down from the ring, him stop in front of this woman looking at her with red eyes. Guilt and sadness welled up in his heart. This made Jin Ringsu have countless words at this moment. Can't wait to talk to Bibi Dong, but the words got to the lips, but it seemed like it was stuck in his throat and he couldn't speak no matter what. Eventually, the backlog of emotions explodes. Jin Ringsu has developed a strong character since childhood. The corners of her eyes, 2 wipes of clear tears fell down. Bibi Dong looked at her own daughter in front of her. My heart skipped a beat when I saw her in front of me. Recall the scene in the test. Sadness and guilt filled my heart for a moment. He didn't know how to face Jin Ringsu. Just the moment I saw her cry, the whole heart seemed to be stabbed severely by a silver needle. The sting was incomparable. Quickly walked over with a worried look on his face. He said, Xiaoxu, what's wrong with you? Bibi Dong subconsciously wanted to reach out her hand to wipe the tears from the corners of her daughter's eyes. Only then did I realize that this action was so unfamiliar. The two have kept their distance for years. There was no intimate interaction that a mother and daughter should have. All of a sudden, she wanted to wipe away the tears for Jin Ringsu. Some dare not, some are afraid. The outstretched right hand was suspended in the air. Period. In this moment of the moment, Bibi Dong suddenly understood what she had been doing all these years. How much does daughter Jin Ringsu owe? So much that she wanted to beg the other party's forgiveness. I don't have the courage to make up for it. Gradually, Bibi Dong's eye sockets became moist under the gaze of everyone. The corners of her eyes were also tears. Jin Ringsu saw Bibi Dong's outstretched right hand just in front of myself. I didn't go any further. Seeing her cry at this moment, the heart is even more uncomfortable. The mother and daughter stared at each other. Tears flowed like an open dam. But no one spoke first. First go to break such a deadlock. Involuntarily, the entire martial arts arena. Everyone around kept quiet. Heart and the only tenderness left in her heart. I'm afraid it will only be left to my daughter Jin Ringsu. In the arena, Lin Feng's eyes were in stone, who rubbed his eyes uncomfortably. Bibi Dong, Jin Ringsu, why do you two do this? One can bear not to speak, one can bear not to ask. It's really a pair of stubborn donkey-like mother and daughter. Let me kindly help you. Lin Feng smiled. Open your mouth and blow hard. Without warning, a violent hurricane blew up in the martial arts arena. There were countless screams and screams. The hurricane stopped after only 3 seconds. and Bibi Dong and Jinring Su under the ring. The mother and daughter have hugged each other tightly. Bibi Dong activated the purple soul power to protect Jinring Su. Xiao Su, are you okay? Brows. Jinring Su raised her head, looking at the woman in front of her who had disliked her since she was a child. The weak heart was deeply touched. An emotion that can't be described in words is like a tide. Let her be full of warmth and steadfastness. This is a feeling I have never felt since I was a child. It was also what Jinring Su had been longing for, looking forward to all these years. Mom, mom, mom. Jinring Su opened her mouth with difficulty. With all my strength, I finally buried these two in my heart for many years. The words that I have never dared to say, I have spoken. It starts after 4 or 5 years old. How she wished to be like other children. Be with your mother and do what a mother and daughter should do. However, Jinring Su asked her grandfather to take her to the Pope's palace many times to find Bibi Dong. Every time I was dismissed with disgust. She was really sad and would cry sadly for countless nights. Basic mother, not even the most basic maternal love. Jinring Su didn't even know how she survived when she was a child. Wait until she is a little older to awaken her martial soul. They were sent to the Heaven Dao Empire Palace to hide. It has been more than 10 years so far, and it was only today that I saw Bibi Dong again. Also see what happened to her during the ordeal. Know the truth of the year. I understand and feel sorry for Bibi Dong. When Bibi Dong heard Jinring Su calling her mother, the corners of the eyes that were not yet dry became moist again, full of excitement and joy. Looking down at the daughter in his arms, he had a look of astonishment and joy. Her voice trembled and said, Xiao Su, you just called me. What did you call me? Bibi Dong looked into her daughter's eyes as the Pope of Wuhun. She seemed anxious and restless. Deep in my heart is both anticipation and nervousness. Jinring Su broke down in tears and hugged her mother tightly with both hands, leaning in the arms that she had imagined countless times when she was a child. Sorrow cried out, Mother, I didn't know you went through those things before. I just thought you didn't want me anymore, thought you despised me. Now I know the truth. I know everything. Years. Mom, I'm sorry, it's all my ignorance. Suddenly, Jinring Su felt a crushing emotion in her heart. All broke out at this time, crying very sadly. Like a child, so cautious. So, it hurts. But this is what she grew up with. The happiest, and happiest moment. Bibi Dong was hearing about her biological daughter Jinring Su. Shouting mom, she felt her heart melt. For many years, I have been thinking about those hatreds that have been brooding in my heart. It seems that they are all in the sound of mom. Little by little, the wound was healed and healed. Let Bibi Dong gain endless courage to face those tragedies back then. Compared with his own daughter, will those things that have become the past and cannot be changed really be important? Bibi Dong kept asking herself in her heart, looking at her daughter Jinring Su in her arms. She wept with joy. Finally, the answer, Xiao Su, I'm sorry, what happened back then has nothing to do with you. I shouldn't transfer the hatred in my heart to you. You have suffered all these years. Xiao Su, Mom promises that it will never be the same in the future. I will make up for what I have owed you over the years, Bibi Dong said excitedly from the bottom of her heart while patting his daughter's back with his hand. A happy smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. She didn't expect to have a chance in this life to reconcile with her daughter, and she no longer has any regrets. On the ring, food on. Lin Feng looked at Bibi Dong and Jinring Su. A warm picture of mother and daughter embracing and reconciling accidentally got a meteorite in his eye. He quickly wiped it with his hand, showing a sincere smile. The most embarrassing mother-daughter relationship in Douluo Continent. Period. Bibi Dong and Jinring Su, they finally reconciled. P.S. The second update, February 5th. Chapter 61, inviting Liu Erlong to join the Spirit Hall. The ghost notices Bibi Dong's change, and the adventure challenge begins. Martial arts arena. Under the ring, Bibi Dong held the hand of her daughter Jinring Su to apprentice Liena, leading the two little girls from left to right. She felt extremely warm and happy after this Desire Star official challenged herself. Bibi Dong was concerned about those unfortunate past events that she was obsessed with. Let it go a little bit. She will live for in the future. To live for Jinring Su and Liena, instead of being influenced and manipulated by those hatreds. Liu Erlong walked over from the side. He looked at Liena. You can really come out of the pain. Bibi Dong's eyes met Liu Erlong's. Nodding his head in gratitude, he continued, Liu Erlong, the reason why you and I were enemies before, it's all because of you Xia Gang. Now the man's consciousness is consumed, only a body remains. You and I have resolved the rift. Why don't you just join my spirit hall? I, Bibi Dong, can assure you, The resources will assure you, be tilted towards you to help you advance to title Douluo as soon as possible. As soon as these words came out, Flender's face in the distance became serious. Those who watched around secretly pricked up their ears to eavesdrop. Liu Erlong is an attack-type Contra with a mutated blue lightning tear and a Sora spirit. He is the vice president of Shrek Academy in Xiandao City. If she chooses to join Wuhun, then it will have a big impact. Liu Erlong frowned. He glanced at Flender complicatedly. He also thought of the blue electric tire and a Saurus Rex family behind him. And all the teachers and students of Shrek Academy. Looking at Bibi Dong, sighed and said, Bibi Dong, I have a special status. It's not all about Kumin. If you choose to join Wuhun, I'm afraid there will be many people behind me who will be implicated. I can only refuse your kindness. Gate of the Spirit Hall, it's always open for you, no matter when you are willing to join Wuhun. I welcome Bibi Dong. Liu Erlong didn't respond, turned around and walked towards Flender. The back looks extremely lonely after putting down Yu Zhiagang. Now her life lost purpose and direction. Very confused, Bibi Dong let go of Jinringsu and Liena come to Ghost Douluo Gimai. The ghost's face changed slightly, and his expression was unnatural. Hurry up and say, meet the Pope. Bibi Dong looked at him with his head lowered and eyes dodging. As before, he said solemnly and coldly, Elder Ghost, you saw my choice in the test. What do you think in your heart? Ghost's complexion changed instantly, full of fear. He pressed his body even lower and said in panic, his Lord Pope is a lesson. Ghost is loyal to the Pope. Don't dare to have the slightest recklessness. Heart. No matter what choice the Pope makes during the test, ghosts will always follow the Pope. Allegiance to the Pope. For a while, everyone around saw it. The elder ghost of Wuhan Hall looked so embarrassed they all cast sympathetic eyes. Pope Bibi Dong is under test. Made cruel, vicious choices in order to obtain the sword. He would rather kill Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo. Now it is still overwhelming. Many people look down on it, even more. Liena stood behind Bibi Dong, seeing the terrified Ghost Douluo. I couldn't bear it. But he didn't dare to intervene when the teacher was preparing to stand up. Jinringsu stared at Ghost indifferently. For her, the entire Wuhun Temple is serving the angel family. Perhaps the titled Elder Douluo in the Wuhun Temple outside has a noble status. But in her opinion it was nothing at all. Directly. Those who are not loyal to Wuhun are not qualified to live. Bibi Dong looked at the panicked Ghost in front of her. Seeing him as a titled Douluo, he was so afraid of himself. Suddenly understood how she managed and ruled all these years. How tough and iron-blooded it is. It is completely controlled by desire, for the sake of strengthening the Wuhun Temple. No wonder it will be in the desire challenge. There are 3 tests that cannot be passed. It made Bibi Dong think of the reward she got this time. The cursed Hanlu sword. It takes the power of benevolence to wash away evil. Restore to its former glory. Bibi Dong took a deep breath. Looking at the ghost again is very different from before. It seems much more friendly now. Does not give people a strong sense of distance. She personally stepped forward to hold the ghost's arms. Lift him up. He said with a smile, Elder Ghost, you and Elder Ju have been following me all these years. Work hard and do your best. Bibi Dong sees all these. You two are like my right-hand man. With you and Ju Douluo, I, Bibi Dong, can only have this day. So, Ghost Douluo, there is no need to be so restrained between you and me in the future. Period. Please get up. Ghost never expected Pope Bibi Dong to react like this. I thought she was here to ask the teacher for a crime. After all, he deliberately turned his head away with a cold face under the ring just now. It is indeed disrespectful. Now he was lifted up by himself. It's really a little frightening. But after the ghost met Bibi Dong's gaze, immediately noticed something was wrong. Character and temper. At this moment she gazed into her own eyes. There is no previous feeling of indifference. It is the kind of affinity from the heart that is difficult to fake even if it can be disguised. With Bibi Dong's identity and strength there's no need to pull down. Either face yourself with this almost flattering gesture. The previous Bibi Dong couldn't do this. Bibi Dong, her personality seems to have changed. Ghost thought in his heart. Hurry up and salute. Again the voice respectfully said, Thank you, Your Majesty Pope. For your appreciation. Ghosts are willing to be loyal forever and follow the Pope. Never mind. Bibi Dong smiled and nodded. Afterwards, Jinringsu and Liena walked away. Only then did Gui get up, and looked at the woman in front of her with complicated eyes. Treated differently than before. Although he was still angry in his heart, it dissipated a little bit. However, some people around, they all felt that Bibi Dong made such a move. Just because of the choice in the test. He wanted to keep Ghost Douluo Gimai back, so he specifically said that. She is still cruel after all. Indifference. A woman who will do anything to achieve her goals. Presumably it won't be long before he will be rejected by the spirit hall. I feel like a woman like her who relies on her body to wait and see her jokes. Bibi Dong felt strange gazes from nearby. Did not take these to heart. After undergoing the desire challenge, she saw through a lot and suddenly woke up. From now on, I will no longer be blinded by power and power. After a while, two men and women shouted excitedly in the distance, Dean, and Erlong. Both Liu Erlong and Flender looked for a fame. It turned out to be Dime Yubei and Zhu Zhuking. Qin Ming followed behind the two. Liu Erlong and Flender rushed to meet him. Flender said excitedly, Mu Bei, how did you and Zhuking rush back from the Star Luo Empire? Is there something important? While speaking, he stretched out his hand and patted Dime Yubei's shoulder softly. Zhuking, have you and Dime Yubei stayed in the Star Luo Empire for the past 3 years? Are you alright? Zhu Zhuking smiled and said, Auntie Erlong, Mu Bei and I are fine. Qin Ming rushed here at this time and saluted Liu Erlong and Flender. Dai Mubei looked at Flender and said, Dean, Zhuking and I heard about it. That guy Ma Hongjin is qualified to accept the Star Officer's challenge. Not only the martial soul can evolve, but also a 90,000-year soul ring. Soul power has skyrocketed to level 55 Soul King. This makes me and Zhuking so envious, so come back in a hurry. By the way, Dean, Aunt Erlong, I was on the way here this time, and was chosen by Adventure Star Feather. You can accept the adventure challenge today. Dai Mubei and Zhu Zhuking. The arrival of Qin Ming it has attracted the attention of many people, and the words Adventure Star Feather from Dai Mubei's mouth attract more people's attention, as we all know. Only 3 lucky star feathers are randomly distributed every day. It can be said that it is hard to find. Countless people wanted to get the chance to accept the Star Officials challenge, but they couldn't achieve it. Unexpectedly, a kind of Adventure Star Feather popped up now. Also able to accept the challenge, how can it not be exciting? Bibi Dong looked at Dai Mubei and the others. His eyes glowed with satisfaction. Among the 3 adventurous star feathers today, 2 of them appeared in Wuhun Temple and were obtained by Liena and Ghost. Dai Mubei was about to tell about the adventure of Xingaiu Lin Feng on the futon of the ring. Looking around the audience, he said, I declare, starting today, except for the 3 lucky star feathers that are distributed randomly every day, 3 more Adventure Star Feathers will be randomly distributed. Those who get it can rush to the Star Officials to challenge the arena and accept the Adventure Challenge. Now, the person who gets the Adventure Star Feather, you can get on the ring and accept adventure challenges. After Lin Feng finished speaking, heated discussions erupted in the audience looking forward to the upcoming adventures and challenges. This is a new type of challenge that has never existed before. Dai Mubei folded his hands and stared around. He didn't want to be the first one to be a guinea pig. The ghost saw that no one was moving in the audience. Bibi Dong saluted and said, My lord, let me accept the adventure first. Find the way for Nana. Bibi Dong nodded and said, Okay. Immediately, the ghost was full of excitement, said, Yes, senior. Then he took out a feather exuding sky blue brilliance, and input soul power. Adventure Star Feather glowed with dazzling light, flew into the air and turned into 2 signs several meters high. It is engraved with mysterious stripes. 1 word challenge emerged. Period. 1 word exposure emerged. PS. The 3rd update, 3/5, I have to go out temporarily, and the remaining 2 chapters will not be updated until the early hours of the morning, so please wake up tomorrow and read them again. Chapter 62 Challenging the task of the duel between the ghost and Bibi. The little ghost is annihilated and has nowhere to live. Rated A. Obtained the Ghost Pale Martial Arts Arena. Above the arena, Lin Feng looked at the adventurous Xingaiu in the sky. Turned into 2 adventure cards. Looking at the ghost in front of him, he said, Ghost, you have started an adventure challenge. Now you can choose from 2 adventures. Choose one to challenge. The first is Exposure Risk. It's about exposing a little-known secret about yourself. Adventure Xingaiu will be based on the degree of exposure, effects and other aspects. Give ratings and rewards. Challenge and take risks. That is to randomly issue a challenge mission. As long as you do it on the spot, Adventure Xingaiu will complete the effect according to the degree of completion. Give ratings and rewards. Now you have a minute to choose. After Lin Feng finished speaking, he closed his eyes and settled down. Everyone under the ring stared at the top of the ring. 2 adventure cards made from adventure stars. I didn't expect to expose the adventure as long as one of my own secrets is exposed. The challenge adventure is to complete a challenge task on the spot of these 2 adventures. Obviously the exposure adventure of the first kind looks easier to do. After all, You only need to expose your own secrets. Just don't know how the ratings are judged. Everyone is very curious about this challenge as they all hope to find some experience from ghosts and ghosts in the arena. The ghostly eyes are exposing the adventure card. There are also challenges to wonder between adventure cards. Ended up staying on the challenge adventure card. He looked at the silver-haired man on the ring, saluted respectfully and said, "Senior, I choose to accept the challenge." On the food on, Lin Feng opened his eyes and nodded. "Raise your hand and use the power of a formation among the challenge adventure cards played in the air." Next moment. Challenge on the adventure card. A paragraph of text is gradually revealed by the blue light. Challenge task, ghosts, now they are going to fight Bibi Dong with all their might. After the words on the adventure card were revealed, everyone under the ring subconsciously froze. Ghosts and Pope Bibi Dong of the Wuhan Palace. Although ghosts belong to Wuhun Temple titled Douluo Elder, but the soul power is only level 95. Bibi Dong is the Pope of Spirit Hall. The soul power has reached the 98th level, Super Douluo level. If the ghost fights Bibi Dong, there will be a risk of falling, otherwise it will not meet the requirements of the challenge task. Do your best. Everyone looked at the ring in unison. Ghost Douluo Gui Mei with a startled expression. Bibi Dong held a gem scepter in her hand, with a strange expression on her face. On the stage, Lin Feng continued, "Ghost, the adventure card has given a challenge mission. You can choose to take it or leave it. Choose now." Ghost stared closely at the challenge adventure card in the air. Clenched fists. His eyes were full of determination. He looked at the silver-haired man on the ring. Ning Xing said, "Senior, I choose to accept the mission. Duel with the Pope." Lin Feng nodded. "Fly out of the arena with the power of a formation. Wrap Bibi Dong underneath. Take it to the arena. Then play the power of the second formation. Create an ancient battlefield in the sky." Slowly said, "You two, now go to the duel in the ancient battlefield." The ghost looked towards Bibi and bowed eastward. "Master Pope, in order to complete the challenge mission, enter the ancient battlefield." Bibi Dong looked at the silver-haired man on the futon. Terrified, just now she was brought to the arena by the power of the formation. It was completely suppressed, without any resistance. Then look at the ghost that entered the ancient battlefield. Holding the gem scepter in hand, he flew into the air. Fell. Everyone in the audience is Ghost Douluo. Ghost squeezed a sweat. Everyone knows what the standard of the challenge mission is. How can it be considered to complete the task? Among the ancient battlefields, enter the ghosts and Bibi Dong here. Both of them were attracted by the small world, influenced by the boundless killing atmosphere. The eyes of each other became fierce. The blood in the body is boiling. The body is desperate to fight. Ghost still maintained a sliver of sanity. This woman, he did not make a move. He is hesitating. Period. He is wondering if it was because of this duel offended Pope Bibi Dong. Then when the adventure challenge is over, I am afraid that I will suffer now that the arrow is on the string. It has to be fired. Ghostly mind dazzled by ratings and rewards finally calmed down. Dilemma. Bibi Dong holds a gem scepter in her hand. 9 spirit with strong aura rose from under his feet, especially the 9th red 100,000-year soul ring. The breath swept out. Even more surprisingly, she walks on air. Go out towards the ghost. Ripple step by step, layer upon layer, carrying a powerful force to suppress the past. Said coldly, "Ghost, in this ancient battlefield, you and I are no longer the relationship between monarch and minister. I'm just your opponent. Fight with all your might. Wuhun Temple will give you the highest rating and rewards you can get." And proud, there was a sense of gratitude in the ghost's eyes. Worry dispelled. His eyes became crazy and he said coldly, "Bibi Dong, since that's the case, then come on." Suddenly, a surge of soul power reached level 95. Erupt from the ghost. 9 soul rings rose from under his feet at this time. Wrapped with a black aggressive ghost, spread towards Bibi Dong. This moment, Ghost's expression was indifferent as in the test. Make the choice sword, kill him. And the screen of Yuguan. His eyes were bloodshot, and there was a murderous aura raging all over his body. His consciousness and emotions has been affected by this ancient battlefield, influenced by the boundless killing atmosphere. The first soul skill, Ghost Shadow Clone, Ghost gave a cold drink soul power. The third soul skill, Ghost Killing Transformation. The third soul ring under his feet lit up. The speed and strength of the 2 phantom clones skyrocketed immediately afterwards. At an astonishing speed, attack and kill Bibi Dong. In the distance a cold light appeared in Bibi Dong's eyes. The gemstone scepter in his hand is heavy, just relying on momentum. The ghostly aura that enveloped the sky and the sky was dispelled, facing the attack and killing of 2 ghostly phantoms. She put away the gem scepter in her hand. Coldly shouted, "The first soul skill, Ban Yu." Bibi Dong's hands condensed out spider blades, cut out 2 intersecting dark purple energy cuts. fly towards the approaching two phantom clones. The moment the two touched, the ghost clone was easily defeated afar. 5th soul skill, Ghost Shadow Dit in hand. The 8th soul skill, Ghosts and Ghosts. The 5th and 8th spirit rings under Giga's feet lit up. The whole person roared and roared. The already gloomy face appeared at this moment. The underworld that only ghosts can appear. There were bursts of eerie howls in the mouth. The world is at this moment condensed hundreds of ghost energy bombs. With Bibi Dong as the target center, engulf the past. An overwhelming ghostly aura erupted. It turned into a large purple-black mist containing the effect of corrosive soul power. A terrifying aftermath of an explosion swept through, stirring the wind and clouds. The sky and the earth shook. But in that black mist, Bibi Dong's cold voice sounded. The 4th soul skill, Thorn Spider Armor. 5th soul skill, Soul-Devouring Spider Web restrained. Immediately, a huge evil spider appeared. The evil soul power dispelled the black mist. Bibi Dong, whose body was covered with purple armor, appeared. 9 powerful soul rings revealed a monstrous power. Holding the fierce and evil spider blade in both hands. Like a fierce god returning from hell. Just a look. The ghosts in the distance will be frightened away. His terrified appearance was like a frightened little ghost. The evil spider behind Bibi Dong. Open your hideous mouth to the ghost. The ghost's crazy eyes were filled with fear. Exploding at extreme to avoid the poisonous gas net. But it was still locked after all. The spider blade in his right hand glowed with blood. Carrying a terrible killing intent to attack and kill. Ghost looked at Bibi Dong, who is close at hand. The breath of death blowing towards his face made his pupils widen. Become jealous. A more powerful ghost breath emerged from the body. The 7th soul skill, Ghost Avatar. All of a sudden, a hideous ghost figure condensed behind the ghost. Period. Thousands of ghosts add to the body, and the power shakes all directions. The aura on his body soared several times. Endless ghost energy surged from the sky and the earth. Being absorbed into the body, the soul power increased again. Suddenly shouted, 7th soul skill, Demon Explosion, centered on his own body. The ghost energy of heaven and earth gathered around it shone with a purple-black aurora. The poisonous gas network was broken. Bibi Dong was also forced to retreat by the devouring ghost energy. But she hadn't waited for her to attack. A ghostly and cold voice sounded, 9th soul skill, Infinite Ghost Shadow Devour. The entire ancient battlefield is full of erosive ghosts. The void was torn apart abruptly. Hundreds of thousands of ghosts flew out of the void, unstoppable like an invincible army, enough to destroy all enemies. Bibi Dong was brazen and fearless. There was an evil smile on the corner of his mouth. A cold voice resounded through the world. The domain of the soul-eating spider emperor, the 9th soul skill, the abyss of space tearing. Bibi Dong stood in the soul-devouring spider emperor's domain. It can absorb a steady stream of evil energy to feed itself back within the domain. Remain invincible. 2 huge green spider eyes condensed behind him. Between the opening and closing of the eyes, a green light blade was cut out, distorting space. Smashing countless ghosts straight, hit the ghost. The outside world and sight. The ghost's body was dripping with blood, surrounded by a strong dead air. Life is wiped out, falling heavily from the sky at this moment. It's like a poor little ghost in the world, with nowhere to live at this time. The ancient battlefield disappeared. A ghost's body was caught by the challenge adventure card. Place it on the ring. 2 adventure cards fused together. It turned into a feather exuding sky blue brilliance. Flying to Lin Feng was put away. A scarlet letter appeared in his mind. Character, Ghost, Challenge Mission, completed. Rating, A. Reward, Ghost Pill 1, Ghost God Pill. After taking it, it can evolve the Ghost attribute Martial Soul into God. Level Martial Arts Soul, Ghost God, and use its own ghost energy to increase the soul power and the life of the soul ring. Remarks, the Ghost Pill cannot be given as a gift, and the increase of the soul power and the life of the soul ring is only effective when the Martial Soul evolves into a ghost. PS, the 4th update, 4/5, it was past 1 o'clock when I came back last night, and I really couldn't write it. This chapter is to make up for yesterday. Chapter 63. The ghostly martial soul evolves into a god-level ghost, with a soul power of 97 and 300,000 years. Soul rings, exiting the Hall of Spirits martial arts arena. Under the ring, everyone was trapped in the ancient battlefield, shocked by the fierce battle between the ghost and Pope Bibi Dong. Unexpectedly, Gimmer would actually dare to attack Bibi Dong. Moreover, he displayed all kinds of life-threatening soul skills. That aura of death let everyone be in a trance. This was still the same time when he faced Bibi Dong. Panicked, restless and frightened ghosts, Bibi Dong is the Pope of Spirit Hall. Did the ghost ever think of him doing this when the adventure challenge is over? How to bear the anger from Bibi Dong. And next, that shocking final blow between the two. The ghost is in the case of opening the martial soul avatar, exercising the 9th soul skill, devouring infinite ghosts blessed by Bibi Dong with a domain. He also used the 9th soul skill, the abyss / of space tearing, ruthless crushing. Ended up in such a lifeless end. It is also the 9th spirit ring. The strength gap between the two. But there is a world of difference. With the disappearance of the ancient battlefield, Ghost's bloody body was caught by the challenge adventure card. Place it on the ring. Bibi Dong restrained her breath and spirit ring landed beside the ghost. Looking at him dying at this moment, his complexion changed drastically. Walked over and knelt down and exclaimed, "Ghost Elder, I was just affected by the killing spirit in the ancient battlefield. I didn't intend to hurt you like this at all." After the words fell, quickly input soul power into the ghost body. It was found that his injury was too serious, and there was no way to recover. Bibi Dong frowned tightly. There was a look of remorse in his eyes. He looked at the silver-haired man on the futon and asked, "I hope that Senior will save Elder Ghost's life." Bibi Dong's words caused an uproar in the audience. Didn't expect Bibi Dong to be in the ancient battlefield. It is affected by the killing spirit and ghosts in order to complete the challenge task. It is embarrassing to be reduced to such a situation now. Liena came to the edge of the ring with red eyes, looking at the blood on the ring. It hurts. But after seeing himself, he still tried to squeeze out some ghostly smiles. Sorrow cried out, "Grandpa Ghost, you will be fine." Daimyo saw such a scene. Secretly a little startled, murmured in a low voice, "Challenging adventures are scary. What if I also get the task of fighting Bibi Dong? That will be instantly killed." He shrank his neck and said, "It's better to choose exposure and take risks." Jin Rinxu looked excitedly at the ring. His own mother, Bibi Dong, knows that her soul power has reached level 98. I didn't expect the strength to be so powerful. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Period. I'm afraid even the second enshrined golden crocodile Douluo is no match on the ring futon. Lin Feng looked at Bibi Dong in front of him, opened his mouth and said, "You don't need to worry, on the challenge ring, as long as you don't die, even if you only have your last breath left, the injuries left over from the challenge process will recover quickly." Bibi Dong was overjoyed and secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Ghost is the 95th level title. Douluo Elder of Wuhun Temple can be used together with Chrysanthemum Douluo Yuguan controlling martial soul fusion technique. Bipolar stationary field. It is extremely important to Wuhun. And Lin Feng looked at the weak ghost, slowly said, "Ghost, congratulations on completing the challenge. In this adventure challenge, awarded an A rating, reward a ghost pill. Ghost pill. After taking it, it can evolve a martial soul with ghost attributes into God-level martial soul, Ghost God, and at the moment of Wuhun evolution, it can use its own ghost energy to enhance its soul power and soul ring. Ghost pills cannot be given away. This is your reward." He squeezed out an orange ball of light in his hand and shot it out, flying in front of the ghost. It turned into ghostly elixir. Suddenly, the audience fell silent. It was so quiet that you could hear a needle drop. All eyes are fixed on it. The ghost pill in front of the ghost on the ring. Unexpectedly, he was dying not long ago. It seems like a ghost who will die at any time now. The vitality of the body is recovering rapidly and even completed the challenge task, earned an A rating, obtain a ghost pill. Hunting Forest. Old Jack passed the 4 tests of desire. That is getting an A rating. And ghosts get the reward ghost pill. It just perfectly fits his martial spirit. Can Ghost has Wuhun evolved into God-level martial soul, a ghost? It can also be at the moment of Wuhun evolution. Use ghost energy to increase the soul power and life of the soul ring. This effect is simply against the sky. The most important is at all comparable to Xiao Wu, Mohongjin and others. If he is on the basis of level 95 soul power each additional level, then it will be a huge improvement in strength, not to mention that it can also increase the lifespan of the soul ring. Martial souls and ghosts can also evolve into God-level martial souls. Ghosts and gods like the Clear Sky Hammer, the Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus Rex, the 7 Killing Sword, and so on. The top martial soul on the Douluo Continent, but it is still in the category of mortal martial spirits. It is far from being comparable to God-level martial soul. The God level martial soul known to the public on the mainland there are only two. One is the angel family that has been passed down for many years in Wuhun God level angel spirit. One is Liena, the saint of Wuhun. Wuhun will definitely be famous in the mainland. Among the top group of masters, Bibi Dong heard the effect of the ghost pill. Cheerful and excited. Ghost is the elder of Wuhun Temple. Strength improvement is for Wuhun. It will be a great joy. She saluted the silver-haired man on the ring. Then he walked towards the bottom of the arena. Ghost felt that the injury was recovering rapidly, elixir wrapped in monstrous death energy. Instantly, the ghostly spirit in the body was stimulated. An extremely strong desire was born. His blood boiled all over his body, and his breathing became short of breath. Intuition told him, just take this ghost pill. You must be able to transform yourself reborn. The strength has reached an unprecedented intensity. Ghost can't get up now. Majesty. Immediately afterwards, he tremblingly stretched out his hand. Hold the ghost pill, put it in your mouth and swallow it. Suddenly, a terrifying ghostly aura erupted from the ghost. Sweeping across the entire martial arts arena, a fierce hurricane blew up. The sound of howling ghosts and wolves echoed around, which was extremely gloomy. A ferocious condensed ghost in the air, absorbing the ghost energy gathered from the heaven and the earth. It turned into Peerless, the sword that was purely derived from ghost energy. The body covers the sky and blocks the sun, standing in a magnificent manner, as if overlooking all living beings, indifferent. The supreme ghost. As soon as ghosts and gods appeared, the color of the world changed. The sky was covered with dark clouds. The wind is flying fast, and the thunder dragon is rolling enveloped the entire heaven Tao palace. It made countless soul masters and imperial guards prostrate on the ground trembling. Desperate and terrified under the ring, Bibi Dong felt the power of ghosts and gods attacking the two spirits in the body, Death Spider Emperor and Soul Eater Spider Emperor, moaning, trembling. This is purely due to the suppression of the quality of the martial soul. Period. Even the feeling that ghosts, gods and martial arts gave her, compared with the angel martial soul of the angel clan, it is countless times stronger. Even the god-level martial soul of apprentice Liena, the nine-tailed demon fox, is also incomparable. Bibi Dong calmed down and showed joy. The pressure brought to her by ghosts, gods and martial souls compared to Liena's nine-tailed fox spirit even more terrifying. This is the second god-level martial spirit she has ever encountered. It is also enough to crush the seraph martial soul Jinrinx, whose mentality could no longer remain calm. The angel blood that she has always been proud of, now the advantages pay off. This makes her very cautious from a young age. Heart full of unwillingness, he could only look at the silver-haired man on the futon in the arena. Cast complicated and excited eyes. Where the angel family can create another glory, only rely on the predecessors. The nine-tailed fox spirit in Liena's body was suppressed, because her strength is only that of the Soul Emperor. Under the suppression of the power of ghosts and gods, his face was extremely painful. But she was happy for Ghost from the bottom of her heart. Countless people under the arena. They were all trembling, terrified. It seemed to be shrouded in the power of ghosts and gods. Life is at stake, and death is possible at any time. Everyone expected a god-level martial soul ghost. It must be terrifying. Never thought it would be so scary. In the arena, the wounds of ghosts are in the process of ghosts and gods evolving. Forcibly healed completely. The breath on his body is compared to before energy climbing from level 95, jump to level 96, then take advantage of the trend and go up. Level 97. There are 9 soul rings under the ghost's feet, 9 lights of yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, black, and black shot up into the sky. That 9th soul ring in this instant, from the original black turns, red reached the level of 100,000 years. The color of the 8th soul ring is also from black, turned into a red 100,000 year soul ring. The color of the 7th soul ring turned into a red 100,000 year soul ring. The evolution of the martial soul and the skyrocketing age of the soul ring. The ghostly aura reached an unprecedented intensity. It's like breathing deeply, imprinting it in their memory, presumably will be accompanied by a lifetime, become a lingering shadow. And when they looked at the silver-haired man on the futon of the ring again, gaze from before in awe transformed into surrender. It's like facing a high god after a long time. The ghost adapted to the evolved martial soul. There are also increased soul power and soul rings. His face was extremely excited. Hurry up to the futon and respectfully worship. Thank you, Senior. Lin Feng shook his head and said, don't thank me. These are the adventures you accept, a reward for your own hard work, not my business. Since you have completed the challenge, you will be rewarded. Then go down and let others come up to accept the challenge. The ghost nodded and replied, Yes, senior. Then he bowed deeply again. Turn around and stride down the ring. He saw Pope Bibi Dong walking excitedly him. Ghost folded his hands in front of him, said with a cold smile, Bibi Dong, from now on, Ghost, withdraw from the spirit hall. P.S. 5th change, 5/5, this is the 5th update from yesterday, and I have to go out again. So I can only come back in the afternoon to update. Chapter 64 Ghosts angrily rebuked Bibi Dong, finally withdrew from the spirit hall. Daimyo Bei started an adventure challenge. Everyone in the arena conquered by ghosts and ghosts. After the Wuhun ghost evolved into ghost, the power of ghosts and gods released is suppressed. There is even a huge part of the people, prostrate on the ground. Trembling, terrified. This situation directly spread to the entire Heaven Dao Palace. Whoever thought? The ghost behind uses the ghost energy to enhance the soul power. Even from level 95. All the way up to level 97. You know, ghosts used to be accompanying the previous Wuhandian Pope Chihiro Ji. When going out to chase and kill Hao Xianzhuang Tanghao, it's already level 95 soul power. So many years have passed. There is still no improvement in soul power. But after taking the ghost pill, instantly increased 2 levels. It is really shocking and enviable at last. The ghost also uses the remaining ghost energy of Wuhan to evolve. Brutally put, the 7th, the 8th and 9th soul rings. They have all been promoted to the red 100,000 a year level 97 a god level martial soul ghost 300,000 a year soul rings. This strength is enough to rank among the top 5 in the mainland. Period. Even if it's twin spirits. Even Bibi Dong with spirit power level 98 is not necessarily an opponent. Bibi Dong was shocked but filled with joy. Unexpectedly, ghosts and ghosts could be included in the adventure challenge. The strength has been raised to such an astonishing level. Not even weaker than himself, who has been practicing penance for decades. Feeling very excited at the same time. Because the other party is the elder of Wuhun Temple. The improvement of strength will be a great joy for Wuhandian. However, let no one think of it. When the ghost walked off the ring, Bibi Dong took Jinringsu and Liena to meet them. He said something that shocked the audience. He actually wants to withdraw from the Wuhan Palace. Bibi Dong's expression was astonished. The hand holding the gem scepter tightened. Responding, his face was full of displeasure. Now, if you speak unintentionally, I can pretend I didn't hear anything. The ghost smiled contemptuously and said, Bibi Dong, I know exactly what I'm talking about now. What are you doing? Ghost, let the whole world know, I want to quit Spirit Hall. As for the reason, Bibi Dong, you should know better than anyone else. In the very beginning, Wuhandian will give all kinds of guarantees, gives all kinds of benefits, but slowly after joining the Wuhun Temple, everything has changed. Actually, what Tang Hao said is not wrong at all. We people are just lackeys of the Spirit Hall, in the eyes of outsiders. The title Douluo Elder has a noble status, but only we know the suffering. Wuhandian, you, Pope Bibi Dong, just use us as a tool to drive. If Wuhandian is willing to let go of the coercion, I think there are 13 titled Douluo Elders, half want to be like me, choose to quit Spirit Hall. Also, Bibi Dong, I really didn't think about me and Yuguan. Our 2.5 lifetimes have fought for the Wuhun Temple. I have made countless contributions. It was even back then that I supported you as the Pope. For more than 10 years, I have followed your lead. Do your best, but it becomes something you can throw away at will. Kill, go get, the point of the peerless sword. You don't want to quibble. Everyone will see your choice during the test. Some of your experiences in the past, Bibi Dong, are indeed sympathetic, but these can't change your indifference at all. He has a ruthless personality and will do whatever it takes to achieve his goals. The Pope of Wuhandian like you is completely unworthy of me continuing to follow. So, me, Ghost, say it again here. I want to quit Spirit Hall. I'm not discussing with you. It's an official notification to you. If you don't accept it, then fight to the death with me on the ancient battlefield. I'm not afraid of you now, in the Wuhan Hall. Thousands of Taos can't flow out, who can do nothing to get me. Giga, who was still respectful before accepting the adventure challenge, will get an A rating. After obtaining the ghost pill and improving the strength. It's shocking to say so much. If you hate and complain about Wuhandian all the time. In the impression of outsiders, the interior of Wuhandian is extremely united. Not only does it have more than half of the Soul Master Reserve in the mainland, the combined title Douluo of the two empires would be even more. But I didn't expect that there would be such a big problem inside Wuhandian. In the accusation of ghosts, It could be seen that he was heartbroken by Bibi Dong's indifference and cruelty. Finally decided to leave. And Bibi Dong's previous threatening tone. And the moment of rage. His whole body was full of murderous looks. It also verified the image she presented during the test. Terrible woman of great power. Liena was shocked. Seeing the ghost kept shaking his head and said excitedly, "Grandpa Ghost, you must have misunderstood." The teacher said, "Nana, I believe what you said is true. I also believe that Bibi Dong must be extremely kind and tolerant to you, but Nana, you can't forget, you are Bibi Dong's direct disciple. How can she be as nice to other people as she is to you?" Liena was stunned when she heard the ghost's words. Biting his lip and lowering his head, he chose to shut up. Jin Ringsu snorted coldly, glared at Ghost and said, "Ghost, don't make up things here. Since you have decided to leave Spirit Hall, then wait to take over the Angel Clan. Bear my grandpa's wrath." Killing intent flashed in the ghost's eyes. Looking coldly at Jin Ringsu, she said with a playful smile, "Jin Ringsu, I really can't beat Jin Daoli right now. Me and my soul power has reached level 97, possess 300,000 year soul rings. It even has a ghost martial soul that is more terrifying than an angel martial soul. If Jin Daoli is not afraid that I will risk my life. Period. Pull him on the back too, let him leave some injuries that cannot be recovered for life. Thinking to kill me at the risk of a sharp drop in strength and backlash, then come, my ghost is waiting for him at any time." Having said that, Gui Mei took a step towards Jin Ringsu. The boundless ghost energy suppressed the past sense, sneered and said, "Jin Ringsu, now Bibi Dong is no match for me. It's easy for me to kill you, so you'd better shut up for me honestly, otherwise, I will definitely let you angels break out in this generation." Jin Ringsu's expression was pained by the suppression of ghost energy. Facing the threat of ghosts, and ghosts is even more helpless. Bibi Dong quickly erupted a terrifying soul power from her body. He glared at the ghost and said coldly, "Ghost, you want to quit Spirit Hall? I, Bibi Dong, have no objections. I don't want to force you to stay either, but if you dare to touch a single hair of my daughter, I will absolutely kill you at all costs. I believe that in this world, you must have someone you care about." Endless anger rose in the ghost's heart. He understood that Bibi Dong was referring to his good friend for many years, Yu Guan. He could only turn around indifferently and say, "Bibi Dong, let's wait and see." But when he was about to leave, Liena stepped forward and grabbed Ghost's arm. With a choked voice, he said, "Grandpa Ghost, please don't leave Wuhun Temple, please. I have always treated you and Grandpa Ju as my own grandpas. I don't want to be separated from you." Ghost turned around and looked at the girl with red eyes. The indifferent face softened. He stretched out his hand to caress Liena's head. Said in the same loving tone as before, "Nana, isn't Grandpa Ghost unwilling to separate from you? But you are still young, so you don't understand Grandpa Ghost's difficulties. Nana, promise Grandpa Ghost, you have to cheer up and practice diligently in the future. Don't slack off. In this world of the jungle, only oneself has enough strength. Only you can control your own life and walk the path you want to go." When the ghost's last word falls, he forcefully pushed away the hand that was grabbed by Liena. Turn around and fly into the air. Leaving the Heaven Dao Palace. Since then, under the witness of all present, Ghost Douluo withdrew from the Wuhun Temple. Many people looked at Bibi Dong with gloating expressions. "I feel like such a cold, cruel woman." Finally, there was a day when he was betrayed by his subordinates. These are all her own fault. Bibi Dong of Wuhun Palace wants to create the Wuhun Empire, launch a war and crusade against all forces, unify the Douluo Continent, and it would be great to be able to see the weakening of Spirit Hall's strength. Bibi Dong waited until the moment the ghost left from the Zhanlu sword in the soul guide. There was a faint force of benevolence into her body. This made the anger in Bibi Dong's heart gradually dissipate. Slowly calm down, she looked up at the blue sky, murmured, "Seems it that I was really wrong before. My kind of governance style and means, it's all wrong." At this moment, Bibi Dong seemed to have aged a lot. Jin Ringsu and Liena quickly supported her from both sides. Bibi Dong showed a relieved smile. Looking at the two of them, he said, "Xiaoxu, Nana, don't worry, I'm fine. I will definitely make changes in the future. Hall, everything is done willingly and without complaint." At this time, under the gaze of everyone, Daimyo Bei strode onto the ring. She bowed to the silver-haired man on the futon. Respectfully said, "Daimyo Bei, pay respects to Senior. I'm here to accept the adventure challenge." Lin Feng looked at him and nodded, saying, "Take out the adventure star feather you got and inject soul power. I will start an adventure challenge for you." Daimyo Bei responded excitedly, "Yes, Senior." Immediately afterwards, He took out the Adventure Star Feather and injected it with soul power. The Adventure Star Feather glows with a dazzling sky blue light. It flew into the air and turned into two signs several meters high. It is engraved with mysterious stripes. One word challenge emerged. One word exposure emerged. Sisters troubled and then broke up, causing public outrage. Rated B+, everyone's attention in the arena. Soon from the matter of Ghost Douluo Gamer's withdrawal from Wuhun and transfer out. Everyone stared at the top of the ring. Challenge and exposure adventure cards made from adventure stars. Exuding a fiery, excited expression. After all, not so long ago, Ghost Douluo Ghost accepted the adventure challenge in the ancient battlefield, only received an A rating, obtained a ghost pill, and with a powerful strength after taking it forcefully questioned Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhun and finally exit the Wuhun Temple under the ring. Bibi Dong looked at the adventure card on the ring. The heart is very heavy. Period. She got Lucky Star Feather for the first time. But he accidentally missed the time to accept the Star Officials challenge. Get Lucky Star Feather for the second time. What started was the Desire challenge. In the case of failure of the 3 tests, only rewarded with a C rating. Obtain a Cursed Zhanlu sword. Although as long as there is enough power of benevolence, Zhanlu sword will be able to regain its former glory. The power of the artifact is invincible, but the power of benevolence comes from the rule of man. How can it be so easy to obtain? Not to mention, after going through the test of the Desire challenge, her personality was revealed to the public next. It will be difficult to stabilize its position in the spirit hall. What's more, let the people of the entire Wuhun Temple. Do you want to gain the power of benevolence for yourself? Bibi Dong is very envious of ghosts, Tang Hao and the others able to get high rating rewards. The most intuitive, the most direct increase in strength. As one reward after another appears. The rise of Tang Hao, ghosts, Duke Long and others. Bibi Dong felt unprecedented pressure. For the first time, she was on her own strength. Lose confidence in your own talents. Because Star Officials Challenge can drop all kinds of magical things. It is simply not comparable to relying on talent and strength. Liena tightly held the Adventure Star Feather in her hand. I am very anxious. Accept the cake she prepared. Jin Ringsu didn't care about the adventure card. His eyes were fixed on the silver-haired man on the futon of the ring. Can't help but recall the scene of being hugged by the other party's waist. Embarrassment appeared in his eyes. But she calmed down quickly. The most urgent task now is to enhance the strength of Wuhun. And looked at Daimyo Bei in front of him, opened his mouth and said, Daimyo Bei, you have already started an adventure challenge. Now you can choose from 2 adventures. Choose one to challenge. The first is exposure risk. It's about exposing a little-known secret about yourself. Adventure Zingai will be based on the degree of exposure, effects and other aspects. Give ratings and rewards. The second is to challenge and take risks. That is to randomly issue a challenge mission. As long as you do it on the spot, Adventure Zingai will complete the effect according to the degree of completion. Give ratings and rewards. Now you have a minute to choose. Lin Feng's words spread to the ears of everyone in the arena. This made many people look to the challenge adventure cards, show a terrified expression stronger than the previous Ghost Douluo Ghost with level 95 soul power. He actually received the task of fighting Bibi Dong with all his might. In the end, the vitality was wiped out, and he narrowly escaped death. Who can guarantee that the next task will be to challenge Bibi Dong again? Secretly, everyone takes risks for the challenge. All aroused, huh? All eyes looked at the exposure adventure card. Just expose a secret that you don't know. You can get rating rewards. Playing a formation is integrated into the exposure adventure card. The adventure card shook slightly. A ray of sky blue light landed on Daimyo Bei. Lin Feng said, Daimyo Bei, you have successfully chosen the exposure adventure. Now tell me a secret you don't know. Remember not to make up nonsense and lie. Otherwise, the adventurer Zingai will find out. Not just disqualification, there will be punishment. It's time to start. Daimyo Bei was shocked. He was going to make up some things to get away with it. Unexpectedly, Adventure Zingai also has the function of lie detection. His brow furrowed tightly. Think back to what you have done in your life. Unknown bad things. Thinking about which one to tell. Talk to the less influential. You must not be able to obtain high rating rewards. Thought of Ma Hongjin being rewarded with a C rating. Martial soul evolves, soul power soars. He even got a 90,000 a year soul ring. Strength far exceeds the current self. He was full of dissatisfaction. A ruthless look appeared in his eyes. Death is death. Strength, who dares to look down on me? Who dares to gossip behind his back? Daimyo Bei made a decision in his heart. But when he thought about what to expose, his eyes looked worriedly down the ring. My fiancé, Zhu's Huking to improve your strength. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.